subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Synopsis. Luo Wen, who traveled through the world of pirates, awakened the double fruit ability system. You can grab other people's devil fruits, and at the same time you can give your own crew the ability to eat the second devil fruit. As a result, the most evil pirate group unprecedented in the pirate world was born. Eudemons Beamon Fruit plus Thunder Fruit, the ultimate strength and defense, plus the ultimate attack and speed. Ancient Mammoth Form plus Shock Fruit, the perfect for offense and defense. Candle Fruit plus Exploding Fruit. Isn't the pirate version of Deidara here? Flower Fruit plus Cut Fruit. It is easy to destroy a country by one person. Sweet Fruit plus Nine-tailed Fox Fruit. Cough, I know it. There are also Fluttering Fruit plus Fluttering Fruit, Shadow Fruit plus Ghost Fruit, Barrier Fruit plus Rebound Fruit, Hot Fruit plus Burning Fruit. Chapter 1 Forbidden Magic Black Coffin. New World. A deserted island. Cough, cough. With a violent cough. On the beach along the island, the black-haired boy in luxurious clothes hugged a box in his arms tightly, panting heavily to regain his senses. It should be considered safe. Cough, cough. Luo Wen's heart was full of wry smiles. Uncomfortable. He never dreamed that he actually passed through. In the previous life, I just stayed up all night waiting for One Piece information, and I came to this world as soon as my eyes darkened. In fact, Luo Wen was very satisfied with his identity at the beginning. His identity is a prince called the Kingdom of Rayleigh. The country has a very superb light craftsmanship. Many luxury brands are from the Kingdom of Rayleigh. This allowed the Kingdom of Rayleigh to accumulate a great deal of wealth. Luo Wen originally thought that with this identity, he could successfully reach the pinnacle of his life where he embraces left and right. It's a pity that reality hit him hard in the face. In the pirate world, under normal circumstances, most kingdoms have to join the world government and hand in a huge amount of heavenly gold in exchange for the protection of the world government. However, unlike these alliance countries, the Kingdom of Rayleigh did not choose to enter the ranks of the alliance countries. After all, to become an alliance country, it has to pay an extremely expensive amount of heavenly gold every year. The Kingdom of Rayleigh has always relied on its own army to maintain the security of its own kingdom, and it feels that there is no problem in not joining the world government. This leads to the source of the disaster. The world government is still eyeing the fat of the Rayleigh Kingdom, whether it is exquisite craftsmanship or accumulation of wealth for generations. In their eyes, the Kingdom of Rayleigh should take the initiative to hand it over. Advertisement as a result. The world government began to manipulate traders behind the scenes to usurp the country. Even though the national strength of the Kingdom of Rayleigh is not weak, but with the power of CP0 and the world government, as well as the cooperation of the internal forces, still vulnerable. Soon, the entire royal family was infiltrated with many holes, and various accidents occurred frequently. In the end, under a coup d'etat, the Kingdom of Rayleigh completely changed its owner, and his father has also become a bad king who tried to murder the people. Fortunately, on the night of the coup d'etat, his father, the old king, noticed some bad signs in advance and arranged for his confidants to take him away desperately. However, due to the hasty escape, the old king only had time to let Luo Wen take away the most precious treasures in the treasure house, and then sealed the treasure house. In order to let Luo Wen escape, the old king even gave up escaping and chose to stay and be caught. In this way, the minions of the world government have completed their tasks, and they will not continue to chase and kill them desperately. I'm afraid it's getting colder now. Damn its world government, CP0. Luo Wen clenched his fists tightly and climbed up from the beach in despair. Even if you know the culprit, that is the world government that even the 4 emperors can't deal with. How can he be a young man who can only provoke a body? In this pirate world where strength is justice, the strength of the world government, to some extent, represents the greatest justice. If Luo Wen guessed correctly, he would have been wanted by the world government by now. As long as you leave this deserted island, it won't be long before you will be caught by bounty hunters and marine. Just as Luo Wen sighed in his heart, a sudden mechanical sound came from his mind. Ding! Host detected. Activating the vicious crew system. Advertisement. The system is loading. Please wait for the host. Just heard the sound. Luo Wen's heart suddenly froze. Immediately afterwards, Jinin's face began to show joy. As he is familiar with the settings of various novels, he naturally knows what this means. Legend of the cheat that can change fate. And the system sounds amazing. Binding progress 30%. Binding progress 50%. Binding progress 90%. Binding successful. The special item, Forbidden Black Coffin, has been distributed, with the knowledge poured in. And what comes to mind? That black coffin that exudes a terrifying aura. Messages that come to mind. Let Luo Wen have a deeper understanding of the system. The joy on his face couldn't be concealed for a while. According to the system, the black coffin ability rewarded by the evil crew system just now is quite amazing. Just put the dying ability person and a fruit in it. You can recycle devil fruit. This ability is simply unheard of. Advertisement Chapter 2, Unknown Eudemons Species Devil Fruit. This bizarre black coffin will ensure that Luo Wen can form an extremely powerful pirate group. Not only that, the system also has one main function. That's him as the captain. You can remove the negative effects of devil fruit for yourself and the regular crew members. That is, you can eat 2 devil fruits at the same time without dying due to side effects. That is to say, the pirate group he formed can have the ability of both fruits for everyone, as expected of a very evil crew system. Simply invincible, as long as he can recruit a few more suitable crew members, and then everyone is equipped with a double fruit. Isn't the strength of the pirates easily comparable to that of the 4 Emperor's pirates? Luo Wen's heart Shinin couldn't help sighing. Devil fruit. If I remember correctly, there seems to be a treasure in the treasure that the cheap dad asked me to bring out. Open it first. I hope it won't be soaked by seawater. These booklets are specially brought out. Luo Wen suddenly remembered something. He muttered softly, "Hold the ornately decorated box in your arms. Open it carefully." As the dusty box was opened, 3 devil fruits with different shapes are revealed, and 3 booklets covered in different packaging. After seeing that the booklet is not soaked, Luo Wen breathed a sigh of relief. You must know that this is one of the sources of his strength. These 3 booklets are the Devil Fruit Illustrated Guide, Conqueror's Hockey Detailed Explanation, and a Great Swordsman's Swordsmanship Manual. While Rayleigh Kingdom as the Old Kingdom. Advertisement, although its strength cannot be compared with world government, it still has hundreds of years of history. These are treasures treasured in the treasure house. The old king was also a sensible man, knowing that bringing gold and silver treasures will not help Luo Wen at all. So he chose these things for him to take away, if one day it can have enough strength. Not to mention revenge. At least in this sea, they will not be arbitrarily slaughtered. As for the 3 devil fruits, they are also the most precious existences in the treasury of the kingdom. 2 of the fruits are recorded in the Devil Fruit Illustrated Book. They are Paramecia's Susu fruit and an ancient Zoan cat fruit in the form of a leopard. As for the most precious one, it is not even recorded in the Devil Fruit Pokédex. The only certainty is that this is an Eudemons Devil Fruit. Eudemons species Devil Fruit. Rare and more powerful than Logia. At present, the Phantom Beast species known to appear in pirates are basically strong, except for the original flavor of Chopper. Luo Wen still wanted to eat an Eudemon's fruit. However, there is no record of this phantom species devil fruit in the illustrated book. This made Luo Wen hesitate for a while. After all, whether it is Susu fruit or Zoan's ancient leopard form, it is also a pretty good devil fruit. Fast fruit can not only accelerate itself, but also accelerate objects, which is a very good ability. Not to mention the ancient leopard form, Zoan ancient species, and Buchner's leopard is almost the oldest cat leopard. If it is well developed, it is not inferior to other powerful devil fruit. But Luo Wen hesitated in front of the mysterious devil fruit. Think of the terrifying physique of Kaido of the beasts, known as the strongest creature. Advertisement and natural disaster like Eudemon's ability. Luo Wen made up his mind. Take a gamble. Turn a bike into a motorcycle. Today, he's going to see what kind of phantom beast fruit is. Certainly, Luo Wen does not rely solely on passion. Under normal circumstances, the strength of Eudemon's fruit is not too weak. Most of the Eudemons have strong abilities, such as Kaido's Blue Dragon form, Yamato's Big Mouth True God form, or Marco's Phoenix form. Take 1,000 steps back. Even if Luo Wen really ate a garbage phantom beast this time, he still has a second chance. It's enough for him to make up for a fruit that is powerful enough later on. Luo Wen took a deep breath. He stretched out his slightly trembling palm and picked up the devil fruit whose surface was covered with spiral patterns. He took a deep breath and bit down. The taste is really disgusting. But fortunately, Luo Wen was mentally prepared and swallowed hard. Then, mutation. Luo Wen only felt an extremely violent force blooming in his body. What? As if a volcano was about to erupt in his body, Luo Wen couldn't help shouting that he was born. A terrifying force erupted out of nowhere. The whole ground, all trembling under Luo Wen's feet. Advertisement Chapter 3 Eudemons Beamon. Invincible defense and power. A slightly wobbly island in the calm belt. Set off a wave of waves and rushed towards the surrounding. Crash. Chapter 3 Furious Ocean Currents. This moment swept away around the island. Accompanied by the powerful force in the body, it burst out completely. A burst of red light bloomed in place. Then Luo Wen's figure disappeared. A ferocious beast with a height of more than 15 meters stands on the island. Silver-white hair covered his body, glistening in the sunlight. Fangs and claws. Part of the exposed skin is a gray-black like a rhino. The sturdy and powerful claws flashed with cold light. His muscles are strong and full of terrifying power. The earth is shaking for the appearance of this creature. The shoulders are 5 meters wide. The deltoid muscles on both sides are like bulging hills, and the 100-inch long claws seem to be able to penetrate everything. It looks like a giant beast born for killing and war. Just a low growl. The surrounding air is constantly shaking, until Luo Wen was barely able to restrain his strength. The tremor of the island just stopped. At this time, Luo Wen clenched his fists subconsciously, and the surrounding air vibrated out. His mood was agitated. This power is so terrifying. Advertisement simply unbelievable. I didn't expect this phantom beast fruit has such power. Luo Wen's eyes flashing with excitement. He is now finally know the name of this phantom species devil fruit. Zone. Eudemons. Beamon form. It can turn the person who swallows it into the legendary and powerful terrifying beast, Beamon. Although Beamon doesn't have the power to control the elements, the amazing defensive power brought by Beamon's fruit completely surpasses that of ordinary phantom beasts. The power increase is also particularly terrifying. It is said that an adult behemoth can tear apart a dragon. As you can imagine, just how powerful is the power of Beamon-shaped phantom beasts? In terms of boosting strength and defense, it is definitely better than the Azure Dragon fruit. Besides, Luo Wen closed his eyes and felt it carefully. The power originating from the earth is constantly pouring into his huge body. To stand on the ground, he will be able to continuously recover his stamina. It can be said that he is the son of the earth. As long as he is on the ground, he is not at all afraid of the consumption of any protracted war. Luo Wen felt the terrifying power from his body and limbs. He couldn't help but sigh. In terms of strength and defense alone, this Eudemon's devil fruit is simply full, although it lacks some elemental means. But it's already the top phantom beast fruit. Luo Wen felt content. Advertisement, he only needs to develop the fruit normally. It is normal for the body to grow to the level of Kaido, and it may even surpass it. After all, according to the setting, Beamon can tear dragons when he is an adult. Although it is a Western dragon, it is enough to reflect its horror. After removing the Eudemon's form, Luo Wen's figure also returned to the previous appearance, but the breath became too strong. In his normal state, his physique was 4 or 5 times stronger than before. He turned his eyes to the inside of the box, secretly thinking defense and strength are no longer to worry about. In front of Beamon fruit, Bryce's leopard fruit is completely the younger brother, so it is definitely not needed. As for the quick fruit, Although it can also improve itself to a certain extent, the increase is not very large. Speed is of course important, but it is not just quick fruits that can increase speed. Luo Wen thought about it carefully. Currently, the most suitable for him is definitely Unnlea's Thunder Fruit. As one of the strongest Logia, Thunder Fruit not only has the ability to increase the sense of sight. At the same time, it can also make the fruit ability person have unparalleled speed. You can also control a powerful thunder as your own means of long-range attacks. Beamon Fruit boosts defense and strength. Thunder Fruit boosts attack and speed, and elemental attack. Just perfect. Luo Wen even decided to make Thunder Fruit his second fruit target. It's a pity that now counts the time. It is estimated that Unlea has successfully eaten Thunder Fruit. Before Master Armament Hockey, he was no match for Unlea. But Luo Wen is not in a hurry. There are still 7 or 8 years before Luffy goes to sea. Anyway, he now has the Hockey Codex and the Swordsman Codex, and he only needs to spend a few years on this deserted island to improve his strength, and then he can choose to go to sea. It won't be too late to have trouble with that Unlea guy again. As long as he successfully defeats Unlea of Sky Island and superimposes the power of Beamon Fruit and Thunder Fruit, he can truly become a hexagonal warrior with no dead ends in all directions. Advertisement chapter: For the White Horse crossed the gap. 5 years in a flash. The sudden surge in strength is no joke. Well, let's get used to the power of the magical beast Devil Fruit first. Wait until there is enough strength in the future. This account will be recovered from the bastards of the world government and CP organization sooner or later. Luo Wen clenched his fists and whispered, "Wait until you grow up. Sooner or later, he will lead his own pirate group and completely defeat the bastards of the world government." But Master Armament Hockey is required to deal with Unlea. He doesn't have the aura of the protagonist like Luffy, and it's too F-ed to rely on any kind of restraint. Luo Wen barely managed to control the surge, turn around, and walk towards the jungle. Boom! Luo Wen accidentally stepped on the ground, and he stepped on a big hole in the ground. He couldn't help but rubbed his nose and smiled bitterly. It really deserves to be the most top-level fantasy beast fruit, and then let's practice well on the desert island. At least until we can beat Unlea. It's not too late to leave here. He muttered softly. The figure entered the jungle and disappeared. However, this waits. That's exactly 5 years. The White Horse is over. 5 years later, that calm belt desert island coast. Crash! Accompanied by amazing waves roaring all around. A Sea Kings with a height of more than 10 meters smashed on the coast. Boom! At the same time, a puff of smoke was raised at the head of that huge Sea Kings. But there is a terrifying wound that is shocking. Advertisement: it's like being pierced by something. Well, just a little Sea Kings this time. It's really boring. The Sea Kings have been approaching less and less recently. Aren't you afraid of being caught by me? A tall and straight young man who was about 2 meters tall stood on the shore with a calm expression. There are a few rubble in his hand. Apparently, this was the culprit that killed the Sea Kings. Luo Wen was a little helpless. After eating the Beamon Fruit, he found that his appetite was getting bigger and bigger at the same time. Relying on the beasts on the island alone would not be able to meet his needs. That's why the idea of those Sea Kings came up. At Calm Belt, these Sea Kings are formidable predators. Unfortunately, in front of Luo Wen, who mastered the power of Beamon, the status of the predator and the hunted has been completely reversed. A qualified Sea Kings, at least enough to consume Luo Wen for half a month. Speak up. When his henchmen escorted him to Calm Belt, the road was also attacked by these Sea Kings, and the whole ship was smashed to pieces. Otherwise, Luo Wen would not have drifted to the island in embarrassment, although the body shape is not suitable. But it's a few days' ration anyway, so it can't be wasted like this. Luo Wen is gearing up for a delicious meal. At this time, far away, the sea level is rising at an alarming rate. Crash! The sea water rolled and rushed all around. A huge crimson octopus with a height of nearly 100 meters on its upper body alone, waving tentacles full of suckers. Advertisement towards the carp Sea Kings killed by Luo Wen. Swept in? Obviously. It was eyeing Luo Wen's lunch. Octopus didn't care about Luo Wen standing beside him. In its view, a mere little bit is not worth his attention at all. On the contrary, this kind of accidental death can just fill its stomach. Recently, there are fewer and fewer of the same kind in this sea area. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so. Luo Wen glanced. He pulled out the knife that was already covered with gaps and rust around his waist. The jet-black armament hockey instantly covered it, then suddenly vented the surging power and waved the blade. One-shot flow, python cut. The youth's voice fell. A silver-white knife light flashed in the air. The octopus tentacles that were dozens of meters high were like tofu, easily cut in half. Immediately afterwards, the spirit carried by the slash wave split the tentacles into dozens of pieces. Fall on the coast. Yo, finally a big fish came. It just so happens that I have a craving for grilled octopus recently. I didn't expect that Sea Kings would take the initiative to deliver it to my door. It's really touching, Luo Wen said with a smile. He held a rusted short sword in his hand. In these 5 years, he is not only in the master fruit, currently his swordsmanship. He has also successfully comprehended the realm of cutting iron through the swordsmanship code. Become a swordsman with its own ferocious and unparalleled strength. The slash wave that can be displayed is also quite powerful. The giant octopus that is the Sea Kings. In terms of intelligence alone, it is no longer inferior to ordinary humans. Advertisement Chapter 5 ready. Point to Enel. After seeing his tentacle sucker being cut off, he couldn't help but be furious. A mere human being. Do you still want to use it as food? It's just killing yourself. Crash. Tens of meters long tentacles waved wildly under the sea. The weak Sea Kings in the waters near the deserted island all chose to escape from here. The remaining tentacles of the octopus are overwhelmingly smashing towards Luo Wen. Just the power that swung down. It is enough to completely crush a huge rock several meters high. However, facing the dozens of airtight, astonishing, all the movements of the octopus seemed to be clearly perceived. Luo Wen just stood there, with their own perceptions. With a slight movement of footsteps, it is easy to avoid the attack. Smoke and dust engulfed his figure. Boom! The island shook violently. An astonishing sandstorm engulfed Luo Wen's body. However, right under the smoke, suddenly, there was a roar like a wild beast. Roar! A hurricane-like airflow whizzes out towards the surroundings. With a behemoth more than 20 meters high, Luo Wen's original position was replaced. Boom! The palm of the behemoth suddenly grabbed the attacking tentacle. Advertisement, a terrifying force like a river bursting its banks suddenly came from the palm of the behemoth. Zilalala! Those tentacles shattered in front of this force. The tentacles of the octopus, which are as elastic as rubber bands, were pulled down, hit the ground directly to raise dust. Witness this scene. Where does this giant octopus have any idea of snatch food? This monster came out of nowhere. It's not an opponent at all. Run away. However, Luo Wen won't let go of the takoyaki that comes to your door. He grinned in Beamon state. The palm again suddenly grabbed the huge octopus that wanted to leave. The huge sharp claws sank deeply into the tentacles of the octopus, and it was useless to let the other party struggle. In the end, he grabbed the opponent's upper body abruptly and dragged it directly to the coast of the desert island. The hill-like fist fell, heavy hammering on the head of the giant octopus. The regenerated tentacles wrapped around the arm in an attempt to stop Luo Wen's movements. But no matter how hard, there is no way to move the fist. Bang, bang, bang. The sound enough to shake the island kept coming. Soon the Sea Kings of the giant octopus lost their breath. A Sea Kings as high as 100 meters was actually hammered to death. If this is to be said, I am afraid that few people can believe it. After the huge octopus was killed by Luo Wen. Soon, the behemoth that was more than 20 meters tall also turned into Luo Wen again. Advertisement, he looked at the giant octopus that fell. The opponent's strong tentacles have become soft. It's just that a big pit was smashed out of the head, and the cracked island floor is full of potholes. Don't think about it. These are Luo Wen's masterpieces. He looked at the huge body of the giant octopus. Cannot help but feel a little emotional. Compared with a while ago, there has finally been a lot of progress in strength now. But if you want to reach the admiral level, there is still a long way to go. The current strength alone is not enough to roam the sea. After 5 years of hard work, Luo Wen's physical fitness is now comparable to that of Naval Headquarters' elite vice admiral. This speed of progress may seem exaggerated, but it is actually quite reasonable. After all, Beamon Fruit doesn't have special abilities like other magical beasts, Devil Fruit. Beamon Fruit is completely added to strength and defense. The strengthening of physical fitness is especially pervert. Luo Wen's starting point completely surpassed any Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. Coupled with the Beamon Fruit, standing on the ground, you can continuously restore physical strength. Therefore, Luo Wen has much less rest time than normal people when exercising. In the past 5 years, he has not had any leisure measures, so he has been practicing day and night, and the intensity and efficiency of training are 3 or 4 times that of normal people. The combination of these two factors can make him soar to the current level in such a short period of time. If it enters the half-beast form of the Beamon Fruit, his strength can be further improved. In observation hockey and armament hockey, he is also awakened. Talk about real combat power. With his amazing defensive and recovery abilities, he can definitely take down a Naval Headquarters elite vice admiral head-on. Well, the current strength. It's good enough to deal with that Enel guy. Luo Wen clenched his fist. The corners of his mouth twitched. Advertisement Chapter 6: The Golden Eagle. The overlord of the desert island despite Enel's hands. The master has the extremely fast Thunder Fruit, which is also not bad in terms of output capability. But one thing is fatal. That is not knowing that armament hockey exists. Just take advantage of this. And it's not just a joke to hit Enel with one blow. Luo Wen picked up a torn octopus tentacle, cut open the tender meat with a knife, and swallowed directly while recovering strength. I thought about it. After eating this giant octopus at least 1 month, he shouldn't be hungry anymore. This was just enough time for him to leave the calm belt to get the thunder fruit he was looking for. For now. It's now 2 years before Luffy goes to sea. That means Summit War will kick off in almost 2 years. If he doesn't get Thunder Fruit, it will be difficult for him to beat an admiral even in 2 years. At that time, even if he participates in the Summit War, he will not be able to make any waves in that Grand War. Not to mention his wicked crew system. It is also necessary to capture enough crew members to be able to exert their greatest value. If you have been nesting on this desert island, there is no way to form a qualified pirate group. Just get Thunder Fruit. Luo Wen is confident that he will be able to compete against Admiral in a short period of time. Such a long time has passed. I'm afraid those guys in the world government thought he died in the Calm Belt, right? Thinking of this, Luo Wen couldn't sit still for a while. An important part of Thunder Fruit's plans for him. The sooner you get it, the faster your strength will increase. Advertisement Luo Wen groaned. It's true that we can't drag it any longer. Let's go immediately after eating this trip. By the way, bring that silly eagle on. At this time, suddenly, there was a high-pitched sound of eagles in the sky. Hearing this voice, Luo Wen's eyes twitched slightly. I didn't see you in the fight just now, but now I'm in a hurry to eat. What a gluttonous fellow. Okay, come down and eat quickly and go out with me in a few days. After being allowed, only then did I see a huge golden eagle with a wingspan of nearly 20 meters, like a roaring combat power, and quickly landed beside Luo Wen, staring eagerly at the corpse of sea kings. Make a tentative low-pitched sound. Harchnin started muttering incessantly. That monster actually gave me such a good meal today. Shouldn't it be planning to send me on the road? Carving is difficult. A time. Tears welled up in the eyes of the giant golden eagle. Luo Wen glanced at the golden eagle strangely. Eat! Why don't you eat all the dishes? You wouldn't expect me to cook it for you, would you? There are many beasts in the desert island of Calm Belt. Among them are the large beasts that Rayleigh defeated at the beginning. This golden eagle of prey was also the overlord of this desert island. But he was beaten a few times later. Much better now. The intelligence of this golden eagle is not bad. It is equivalent to the level of a teenage human, and it can have a long memory after being beaten. Luo Wen is mainly interested in the flying ability of this golden eagle. If you go to Sky Island, you can save a lot of time. Except for this golden eagle. Advertisement: the other powerful beasts on the desert island were basically killed and eaten by him. Heard here. The golden eagle is also heartbroken. Even if you die, you have to be a full-fledged ghost. It lowered its head and resolutely ate the carp sea kings, determined to fill its stomach first. Watching the golden eagle finally eat obediently, Luo Wen is also relieved. He also counted on the golden eagle to send him to Sky Island. What if you are hungry and have no energy later? You have to feed this guy first. The body of the giant octopus sea kings. He was quickly swallowed up by Luo Wen's bottomless belly and turned into energy. Only a messy field is left. As for the side, the golden eagle also ate most of the little sea kings and couldn't help but hiccup and looked at Luo Wen. This monster is too edible. Who is the beast? The golden eagle complained in his heart, but he didn't dare to show any disobedience. In the past few years, Luo Wen has seen the speed of strength improvement. Golden eagle is 100% sure. If it wants to escape, I am afraid that the next second will be beaten into the opponent's stomach. Luo Wen touched his full stomach. Satisfied, he turned his head to look at the golden eagle and said indifferently, "Silly eagle, since you're full, you can almost go on your way, right?" Hear this. Golden eagle's heart can be described as wow cool, wow cool. I really want to be killed by this monster today. Advertisement Chapter 7 Leave officially set sail. Luo Wen felt the fear from the golden eagle. He raised his eyebrows slightly. What? Could it be that you don't want to leave? I'm going to a place next, and I'm going to borrow your wings. You don't have enough animals left on the island to eat. If the golden eagle is not obedient, that Luo Wen can only choose to convince people with virtue again. The voice fell. The recovered golden eagle quickly shook his head, expressing his willingness to leave with Luo Wen. Chnin breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out not to really want to invite it on the road. Then no problem. Luo Wen nodded in satisfaction. He patted the dust of his tattered clothes, got up, and looked at the endless sea in front of him. It's time, let's go. The voice fell. Although golden eagles are not very happy to leave their habitat, but since it was Luo Wen's order, it could only obey. Sure. The wings with an arm span of more than 20 meters spread out, like a sky-covering wing. See, the golden eagle is ready to take off. Luo Wen's mouth rose slightly. Reaching out his hand and rubbing the head of the golden eagle, the figure easily jumped up and sat on the back of the golden eagle. Don't worry. It's definitely your luck to follow me. Wait until you find the right devil fruit in the future. It will definitely make you stronger. Luo Wen said with a smile. Of course he didn't lie. Advertisement in the future. If there is a chance to obtain a suitable fruit and let the golden eagle swallow it, it can definitely greatly enhance its strength. The golden eagle tilted his head. It seems that it is already strong enough. Although the monster Luo Wen cannot be beaten, the entire island is its territory. Luo Wen was too lazy to explain to this silly bird who was sitting on the well watching the sky. He reached out and patted the golden eagle on the back. Let's go. I'll tell you about the directions later. The voice fell. The golden eagle raised its head high and waved its wings suddenly, and the figure rose into the sky like an arrow from the string, waving the giant wings straight into the sky. Boom! The sound of breaking the sky kept coming. Luo Wen sat indifferently on the back of the golden eagle, letting the violent air blow his clothes. Without changing his face, he took out an old chart from his arms. Let me see. If I remember correctly, the so-called Sky Island should be right above the town of Magic Valley on Gaia Island, a field of up to 10,000 meters in the sky. Luo Wen groaned in a low voice. The chart in his hand was brought out when he was fleeing. Although it is soaked by sea water, after drying, it can basically play the role of distinguishing the sea area. He opened the chart in his hand. A general glance. Well, it will take a week or two to travel from Calm Belt to Magic Valley Town, even if you try your best. After all, that place is not in New World. Taking a look at the location of the sea area where Magic Valley Town is located, he put away the nautical chart in his hand. Magic Valley Town, a port town on the island of Gaia. Although it looks like a resort from the outside, it's actually populated by pirates. Advertisement, silly eagle. You will have to work hard for a while. It is estimated that you will have to fly for a week or two to get to the place. I will help you deal with the prey. Talking. Luo Wen patted the golden eagle on the back to comfort him. He knew that this silly bird had a mild temper and would definitely not be angry at this kind of thing. As soon as I heard it was going to fly for such a long time, the golden eagle almost lost its wings. Does this have to be exhausting? To know that it has never been flying for so long. God knows if it can hold up. But in Luo Wen's view, ordinary golden eagles can fly for 6 to 7 hours in a row, and it is normal for golden eagles as overlords to fly for a few days, right? Soon, in the eyes of the golden eagle full of resentment, the figure of one person and one eagle disappeared above the island, leaving the messy island. If someone goes to the island, we'll find out. That island was already riddled with holes. There are craters everywhere, as if there was an earth-shattering battle. A week later, under the supervision of Luo Wen, it can be said that the golden eagle is sailing with all its strength. Although there are some breaks along the way, this is still the furthest voyage the golden eagle has ever made. On the way, such a large golden eagle naturally attracted a lot of attention. However, in most cases, it flashed at high altitude, so even if someone saw it, it would not be taken seriously. There are very few lucky ones. Only then can you see the golden eagles pausing between the clouds. There was a lot of yelling. Advertisement Chapter 8, 10,000 meters high in the sky. The realm of the target god. They're all weak guys. I heard that the outside world is very dangerous, but it doesn't look very good. The golden eagle glanced at the ground with incomparably sharp eyes. He hummed disdainfully. Apparently, those civilians were not taken seriously. Although it looks like the monster on its back, it is not a level existence at all. Luo Wen didn't care about the golden eagle's idea. Glancing at the island in the distance, looking at the golden eagle below him, he said in a flat tone, "Well, it's almost there. The island not far away should be Gaia Island, but there is no need to entangle with those guys. Find a desert island nearby and drop it. Let you rest for a while. Otherwise, it would be funny if you didn't fly up. Sky Island exists in the white sea above 10,000 meters. Even if it is the golden eagle of the island overlord, it shouldn't be easy to rush up without enough physical strength. Anyway, Luo Wen is not in a hurry. Let the golden eagle rest for a while. It also just made him prepare himself for battle." Hearing Luo Wen's words, the golden eagle did not agree, but still obediently landed on the deserted island near Gaia Island. Luo Wen indifferently fell from the golden eagle's body. He glanced at the white sky above and couldn't help showing a smile at the corner of his mouth. "Unlea, you should be on that island. I want to see how powerful you, the god of Sky Island, are now." Luo Wen chuckled in a low voice. To him, Thunder Fruit must be won. Unlea must die. Soon. An hour later, both Luo Wen and the golden eagles finished resting on the island. Advertisement Luo Wen, who was sitting on the back of the golden eagle again, looked at the direction of the sky and commanded in a deep voice, "Go ahead, towards the so-called Kingdom of God." The voice just fell. The golden eagle, who had recharged his energy, suddenly waved his wings and set off a violent smoke and dust figure rushing towards the sky. Like a meteor surging upstream, the height keeps rising. Luo Wen from the beginning. His goal is to enter what is called the realm of the gods. The place on Sky Island, known as the Island of God, has long been monitored by Unlea, who has a heart. He just had to break in. Unlea can definitely sense his arrival. This is the best way to attract arrogant Unlea. Luo Wen doesn't have so much time to find him slowly. And the so-called Island of Gods. It's actually just a place where Gaia Island was washed up 400 years ago. Just take off straight in the direction of Gaia Island. Luo Wen has a great grasp. You can reach Unlea's sight on Sky Island. Sure. The violent air around him kept whistling through at this moment. 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters, 4,000 meters. While climbing, the surrounding air is also severely diluted at this moment. Luo Wen, who gave way to the golden eagle's back, raised his eyebrows. Sure enough, the oxygen is diluted a lot after the altitude climbs, but it is still within the acceptable range for now. At most, it will take a few minutes to get used to it. Xiao Jin, you have to cheer up too. It seems that you are still half the height from your destination. Luo Wen said indifferently. He reached out and patted the golden eagle on the back. Advertisement "The little gold in his mouth" was the name given to Jin Diao. The words just fell. This caused the golden eagle under him to be full of resentment. It is a dignified island overlord, and it has been given such a humiliating name. It just doesn't make sense. If it weren't for this monster on its back, it was too terrifying. It will not accept such a name change. Wings flutter. A golden eagle figured dozens of meters wide rose into the air, rushing towards the sky through the layers of white clouds. However, such a high distance, even the golden eagle couldn't bear it, so he could only grit his teeth and insist on waving his wings. Luo Wen noticed this. His face could not help but dignified at this moment. It should only be 2 kilometers away, so stick to it as much as possible. Fall from such a high distance. Not a joke. You just have to speed up and rush up. And even if you do fall, I won't sit idly by. Although Luo Wen is indeed able to walk in the air. But if even the golden eagle can't reach Sky Island, then he can only find another way. Thus, the time to get Thunder Fruit has to be delayed again. This is not what Luo Wen wants to see. The golden eagle also knew it in his heart. If it stalls at such a high altitude, even it may not be able to come down safely. When you open a bow, there is no turning back. Impressively, the golden eagle raised its head suddenly and let out a cry that resounded through the sky. Immediately afterwards, he waved his wings desperately without hesitation and rushed up to the wind regardless of his life. It was like a figure riding a gust of wind. Advertisement Chapter 9, Resisting God's Punishment Boom, abruptly broke through the constraints of the last 2,000 meters and reached an altitude of up to 10,000 meters. Golden eagle at this time. He has already done his best to flap his wings and suck the air to adapt to such a high altitude. Even as a bird of prey, it is also the first time in my life that I have been so high in the sky. I don't know what this monster has to do for it to come to such a high place. There can be no living thing at all. Just when the golden eagle muttered in his heart. But he saw Luo Wen raised his head and glanced into the distance, accompanied by an island in his pupils. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but rise. Really, as I guessed, the so-called God's domain on Sky Island is not far above Gaia Island. Get ready to go. Luo Wen's breath was slightly hurried, both because of the excitement about getting Thunder Fruit and also because of the oxygen adaptation so high in the air. The golden eagle turned his head in doubt when he heard the words. Immediately carved pupils earthquake. An island that seemed to be on land was brazenly held up by the clouds and quietly floated in the air. How can that be? For a time, Jindiao X and Chnin couldn't help but be full of shock. Obviously can't figure out why an island can float above 10,000 meters in the sky. It is unheard of as a bird of prey. But here are the commands behind. A time. The golden eagle did not hesitate too much. With the waving of the huge wings, the figure broke into the top of the island like a sharp arrow. The sudden intruder. In an instant, Unlea, who was taking a nap on the throne of the palace. Advertisement slowly opened his eyes. Someone actually broke into the kingdom of God. It doesn't look like someone from Sky Island, but more like someone from Qinghai, but it's rare. Is that big bird his means of transportation? Unlea said calmly. There is a little interest in Luo Wen who suddenly came, and the golden eagle that can swing dozens of meters on its wings. It caught his attention. There are very few birds that can soar in the sky, even on Sky Island. What's more, the body is so large, and the appearance is also unusual. Guys like this, it should be more suitable to be his pet. He didn't care that his country was invaded, because in Unlea's eyes he was invincible. Has the power to control thunder. There is no doubt that he should be treated like a god. As for other priests, there was a burst of excitement when they heard that there was an intruder. Everyone hopes that Unlea can give them this opportunity to kill the invaders on the island. This is a rare time to increase performance. There are always some guys looking for death, trying to offend the gods. And this is the reason for the existence of these priests. Unlea waved his hand to stop them. He yawned slightly. What if you hurt that golden eagle? It's a pet that God likes. It's better for God to do it himself. The voice fell. Immediately afterwards, he stood up from the throne, holding the iconic golden rod in his hand. The upper body is bare, with a thunder drum behind it. In Unlea's view, if these reckless priests went there, it would be bad if a golden eagle was injured. In his perception, after all, Advertisement: the breath of life from the Qinghai people on the back of the golden eagle. It is also far beyond the level of ordinary people, but compared to his thunder, not worth mentioning. The corners of Enel's mouth rose slightly confidently. In an instant, a blue electric current flashed along the golden stick in Enel's hand, and the figure disappeared in place like a teleportation. Only a few other priests were left to look at each other. Couldn't help but discuss. God actually intends to do it himself. This rare fun is gone. The intruder is estimated to be burned to ashes in minutes. Of course, the power of God is invincible. How can those Qinghai people understand this truth? Over Sky Island. At this time, the golden eagle was carrying Luo Wen towards the place with the island. Suddenly, the surrounding air became solidified. A breath of death filled the air. The golden eagle hesitated. But seeing Luo Wen on his back, he was still calm, so he could only bite the bullet and speed up to fly forward. Just the moment the golden eagle flew out. Boom! A huge thunderbolt fell from the sky and hit the golden eagle instantly. Before the golden eagle could react, Luo Wen shot. Boom! Luo Wen punched right in. Luo Wen, who owns observation hockey, knew that Enel was coming. This move he had seen on TV in his previous life. Is Enel's classic move, God's punishment. Thunder and lightning kept moving on Luo Wen's arm, but Luo Wen couldn't feel the numbness in his arm. Advertisement Chapter 10, this is your fate. Enel, he didn't use Beamon form, nor did he use armament hockey. He wanted to test the strength of his body to see if he could withstand the thunderous blow of Enel. Obviously, he succeeded. The lightning on Luo Wen's arm quickly dissipated. It seems that these 5 years have not been practiced in vain. Without the use of Beamon form and armament hockey, the strength of his body is already outrageous. Luo Wen couldn't stop praising Chnin in his heart. Mortal, your strength is good. Leave the golden eagle behind and serve under me. I will spare your life. At this time, a thunder-like sound exploded in the air. Immediately afterwards, Enel appeared, suspended in the air. He saw that Luo Wen actually held his own punishment with physical hardness, and he thought of accepting Luo Wen as his subordinate. Seeing Enel appear, Luo Wen's eyes lit up. Thunder Fruit, the most powerful Logia fruit. Attack speed are full of fruits. The most important thing is handsome. The Thunder Fruit can be recovered with the forbidden black coffin as long as Enel is beaten to death. Then eat Thunder Fruit to gain the power of thunder. By that time, Beamon Fruit and Thunder Fruit will be absolutely outrageous. But soon, Luo Wen frowned again. With his current strength, he can have a good fight with Enel and kill him in the end. In this way, you can get Thunder Fruit and test your own strength. However, if Enel finds out he will armament hockey and is strong, in the case of obvious loss, will he be so stupid that he will fight to the end and fight to the death? Advertisement: obviously not possible. At his current speed, he can never catch up with Enel, who owns Thunder Fruit. After all, Thunder speed is comparable to sparkling fruits. Therefore, in this battle, we can only outsmart and not work hard. Give Enel a fatal blow when he's unguarded. Want to snatch my mount? Dreaming. After thinking about this, Luo Wen said to Enel, Go to land. Luo Wen didn't talk nonsense and patted the golden eagle on the head. He didn't have the confidence to fight Enel in the air right now. It was better to lead Enel to land. Only on land can he exert the strongest power of Beamon's form, then use the armament hockey to give Enel the fatal blow. The golden eagle didn't speak either, and flew towards Sky Island quickly. Although it does not understand why Luo Wen, who has absolute crushing power, escapes. But it knows these are not the questions it should be asking, and if it wants to survive, just do it. The scene of Luo Wen and the golden eagle escaping fell into Enel's eyes. He couldn't help but sneer. Stupid mortal. Still want to run away? Ha! Escape to your heart's content. Let's see if you can get out of my hands. Luo Wen on the back of the golden eagle naturally heard what Enel said, but he ignored Enel. You'll find out later. Let's be arrogant for a while now. The golden eagle flew very fast, and Luo Wen soon came to the land of Sky Island. Advertisement: a few seconds after Luo Wen landed, Enel also appeared behind Luo Wen and joked, Stupid mortal, keep running away. Why don't you run away? At this time, The 4 God-tier officials on Sky Island also appeared one after another. Obviously, they were here to see how Enel tortured Luo Wen. As usual, there is no such good show to watch. Luo Wen also saw the appearance of these 4 people, but he still ignored it. Instead, he drew the knife hanging from his waist and pointed it at Enel. I saw a rust on the blade, Madara Madara. This scene fell into Enel's eyes again, and this time he laughed even more. Haha, stupid mortal. Could it be that you want to hit me with this rusty knife? Seeing this, the 4 priests also laughed out loud. In their opinion, today another poor BD is about to be tortured and killed by Enel. Brush! Before the laughter fell, Luo Wen had already slashed with a knife. Don't you understand that villains die by talking too much? No wonder you get beaten by Luffy, who can't hockey. Luo Wen is too lazy to complain. This Enel is so much nonsense. The blade fell on Enel's body as expected, cutting Enel in half in an instant. Luo Wen retracted the knife and returned to the Golden Eagle's side. This knife, Luo Wen did not use armament hockey. It was just a tentative cut from him. He wants to try Enel's alertness. After all, Enel's heart network is stronger than ordinary observation hockey. What he didn't expect was that Enel didn't even hide. Relying on Thunder Fruit can be elementalized, underestimating the enemy to ultimate. You deserve it. Enel, Luo Wen said secretly in his heart. The Enel, which was split in half, slowly fused, and finally returned to normal. Advertisement Chapter 11. You have to die if you pretend. Enel is down. Chapter 11. There was still a playful expression on his face. Stupid mortal. God is standing in front of you. How could the attack of a mortal hurt the gods? Give up as soon as possible. It's not easy for you to cultivate. I can spare your life. The 4 priests also shook their heads. They had expected Luo Wen to have a different approach. Now it seems that there is no doubt that the ants have no qualifications to hurt Enel in the face of Enel. Come to think of it, they haven't seen anyone who can hurt Enel. Luo Wen didn't know the thoughts of the 4 priests at this time, and he might die of laughter if he knew it. He now knew that Enel had completely let his guard down and could find a chance to deliver the fatal blow. How is this possible? Luo Wen deliberately pretended not to believe it. Immediately after, Beamon Fruit half-beast form, a terrifying prehistoric power, suddenly appeared in Luo Wen. Then something changed. The height of the original 2 meters has gradually increased to about 2 meters 8. The originally black hair gradually grew longer and turned silvery white. The muscles on the body have been refined and smooth from the original, and they have become stronger and full of explosive power. And there is a layer of silver-white hair covering both arms. There are blue and black lines on the chest. The canine teeth in the mouth also gradually turn into fangs. The whole person looks extremely powerful, and the breath is like a volcano about to erupt. This is the half-beast form of the Beamon Fruit. It is Luo Wen's strongest combat status. Advertisement: the lion fights the rabbit and still does his best. Luo Wen wants to complete the success with one blow and does not want to make troubles. Enel also saw Luo Wen's strange behavior, and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. But calm soon returned. After all, the Qinghai people who were brought to the Sky Island by the ocean current have also had this ability once or twice. Seems to be called Zoan? It's all rubbish. Although the breath of the person in front of him is much stronger than before. So what? It's just a mortal and can't attack yourself at all. Figured this out, Enel joked again. Your strength is really good, much stronger than the previous garbage. Give it up, you can't hurt me. I will give you one last chance. Be my subordinate, and I can spare your life. How do you know if you don't try? Luo Wen shook the rusty sword in his hand and sneered. Brush! This time, Luo Wen's knife was about to reach the ultimate, and it slashed at Enel again. The moment the blade touched Enel, armament hockey quickly attached to the blade. The power of Beamon's half-beast form, coupled with armament hockey, made Luo Wen's knife fast and accurate to the ultimate. Enel instantly felt an extremely dangerous aura. His pupils shrank, subconsciously aware of the bad. But it's too late. There is no way to escape. Only elementalization. For the first time in his life, when he became elemental, Enel felt his heart palpitate like never before. Advertisement: before turning into Raiden, Enel saw Luo Wen's eyes. from the eyes of the other party. He saw the jokes, ridicule, and belief that he would kill him. At this moment, Enel panicked. However, it's too late. Tear! A terrifying slash sounded. The huge silver-white sword light passed over Enel's body, and even the ground and a hill behind Enel were cut in half. Enel was split in an instant and immediately entered a dying state. With this knife, Admiral didn't dare to use his body to take it hard. After all, if he didn't cover his arm color, Monka could even cut Garp with an axe. And Enel, but abruptly used his own Yamato to underestimate the enemy, and took it. I saw his body, almost cut in two. The huge wound extends from the chest to the right waist. The entire body was cut off. Only a little bit of flesh and blood is left on the back. Normal people should die instantly, but Enel is a Thunderfruit power user after all. There is still a little faint breath, but it is also like a candle in the wind swaying. Obviously, it may be completely ascended in the next second. When the 4 God-tier officials saw this, their legs and feet were numb, and they fell to the ground in fright. Seeing that Enel might burp at any time, Luo Wen didn't dare to stop. After all, according to the system, in order to recover Devil Fruit, you must put the black coffin into the forbidden magic before the deceased is completely dead. When the ability person is completely dead, the Devil Fruit may have been reborn somewhere on the sea. Forbidden black coffin. Luo Wen didn't talk nonsense. Immediately put Enel into the black coffin and put the fruits prepared in advance in it, and then closed the coffin. A blue light flashed, and the gap between the coffin body and the coffin lid was covered by a mysterious energy. Advertisement Chapter 12 Eat Thunder Fruit. After a few minutes, the blue light disappeared. Luo Wen's heart moved, knowing that the recycling has been completed. He couldn't wait to open the lid of the coffin. Really? I saw the fruit put in, and the appearance has changed greatly at this time. It turned into a purple cantaloupe. It is covered with spiral patterns, and the breath of thunder and lightning is flickering. And Enel, who has completely lost the breath of life, is obviously dead. Success! Seeing this scene, Luo Wen was very excited. Thunder Fruit. It's finally here. Holding the brand new Thunder Fruit in his hand, Luo Wen could already faintly feel the power contained in the fruit before he could eat it. It was a thunderous aura that was very close to nature and destroyed. Gollum. Without hesitation, Luo Wen immediately changed back to his human appearance, and in front of the 4 God-tier officials, he took a bite at Thunder Fruit. With Luo Wen's current physical strength, even if he stands there and fights the 4 God-tier officials for 3 days and 3 nights, it is estimated that there will be no damage at all. Even Thunder Fruit's lightning can be resisted. Luo Wen doesn't have to guard against 4 God-tier officials. Sure enough, it still is unpalatable as ever. After taking a bite of Thunder Fruit, Luo Wen couldn't help complaining. It seems that none of the Devil Fruit tastes are delicious. Immediately afterwards, resisting the chewing-like taste, Luo Wen opened his mouth and swallowed the whole Thunder Fruit. This is easy. In an instant, Luo Wen's eyes flashed an astonishing light of lightning. Around the body, uncontrollably released small thunderbolts, extremely violent thunder and lightning power, crashing wildly in Luo Wen's body. Advertisement Strangely, such a violent thunder and lightning did not cause the imagined damage after hitting Luo Wen's flesh and blood. Instead, it was absorbed by flesh and blood, further enhancing the activity of flesh and blood, and even cells. Kakaka. Just when Luo Wen was enjoying the changes in his body because of Thunder Fruit, around Luo Wen's location, the violent lightning force spread out an amazing electric shock, which shattered the ground. One after another long cracks spread quickly. This monster, actually getting stronger again. What's going on with this thunderbolt? No, I have to get out of the way quickly. Where has the golden eagle on the side seen this kind of picture? He was obviously exhausted, but he still tried his best to flap his wings. Stay away from the monster Luo Wen. Out of the animal's instinctive perception of danger, the golden eagle can clearly feel it. The current Luo Wen is very dangerous. At the same time, the 4 God-tier officials also widened their eyes and looked at Luo Wen, who was bathed in lightning, in disbelief. That's the thunderbolt of Lord Enel. What the hell did this guy do? Don't think about it. Get out now. thunderbolt, is about to be released. Boom! However, before the four god-tier officials could react and flee, Luo Wen's body suddenly levitated out of thin air. After his feet were some distance from the ground, Luo Wen opened his arms. An extremely violent lightning force was released from Luo Wen's body. The entire sky island resounded with endless thunder. Advertisement one after another huge thunderbolt fell, and the earth was scorched black. On the ground, one giant pit after another was blasted. Looking at Luo when in midair, it is like the god of thunder coming into the world, full of majesty. That's the power of thunder fruit. Sure enough, after the thunderbolt of thunder fruit erupted in one breath, Luo Wen clenched his fist and restrained the thunderbolt. Feeling the strength soaring again, Luo Wen's mouth slightly raised. God, it's the new Thor. Looking at Luo Wen, who seems to have a Kamui, the four god-tier officials who were disheartened by lightning strikes. Immediately respectfully, he faced Luo Wen and knelt down halfway. In the face of the power of God, they have absolutely no courage to do the slightest resistance. Take me to Appiato. The figure slowly descended. Luo Wen glanced at the four god-tier officials indifferently. The island of the gods, Appiato, also known as the Sanctuary. This is where Enel used to live. There is the gold hoarded by Enel. And looking at the entire pirate world, the only art proverbs that is completely made of gold and can fly long distances. If you want to form a pirate group, a pirate ship is essential. Although the arc motto is a bit small, it is enough for the transition in the early stage. Now that I have received Enel's Thunderfruit, the art proverbs cannot be ignored. Yes, Lord New Thor. Under Luo Wen's order, the four god-tier officials nodded respectfully. Advertisement Chapter 13 Shandians. War Ghost Weber, after a long time, arrived in Appiato and saw the arc proverbs. It was a huge ship with the whole body shimmering with golden light and the word God engraved on the hull. The power system of the art proverbs comes entirely from Thunderfruit, and it can also play a supporting role. The Lei Ying, which is enough to destroy a cloud island, is released in conjunction with the vast range of thunderclouds created by the motto of the Arkansas, go and carry all the gold to Proverbs. Luo Wen gave another order to the four priests. All the gold that Enel accumulated was used to build the Ark Proverbs. There should be a part that hasn't been excavated from Shandora. With the pirate ship, the gold can also become the startup capital of the Luo Wen pirates. Yes, the four priests agreed. Have left. After a while, Thunderfruit's heart network perception caught the rapid approach of a few breaths. Oh. Next second, figures one after another stepped on Sky Island's unique Weiba and instantly rushed behind Luo Wen. Enel, today is your day of death? Boom. The few people who appeared held platoon shells and jumped out of the Weiba. All the cavalry shells were aimed at Luo Wen's body and released. This is easy, but they are fast. Luo Wen, who has already sensed it, is faster. I saw a flash of lightning. Luo Wen's figure disappeared instantly. One after another, the attacks of the shells were eliminated. At the location where Luo Wen was just now, the smoke from the bombing was billowing. After the smoke cleared, the Shanya warrior Weber and the others who made the sneak attack showed shocked expressions on their faces. Except for a big hole that was blasted out. Empty. Advertisement. It's a Shandian. This is your punishment for attacking me. Boom. A huge thunderbolt fell from the air. With just one move, all of Weber and the others were scorched black. One by one, they fell to the ground in embarrassment, looking up at the direction where the sound came from. In art proverbs, Luo Wen sat on the guardrail, with Erlang's legs crossed. Not Enel, but the lightning just now. Who the hell are you? Only then did Weber realize that they had just attacked the target. Not Enel. The originally strong hostility dissipated a lot. My name is Luo Wen. Enel has been resolved by me. You don't need to fight anymore. Luo Wen looked down at Weber and the others. Enel was resolved? How is this possible? Hearing this, Wei Bo's faces were filled with disbelief. Enel's power, they know best, occupied their homeland of Appiato, claiming to be gods. The one who can control endless thunder and lightning. Actually, been solved. For a while, Weber and the others were unable to recover. Is what you said true? Weber confirmed to Luo Wen again. If it's a fake replacement. If you don't believe me, you can go and see for yourself. Enel's body. After a long time, Weber went and returned several times. Advertisement with unconcealed smiles on their faces. Just because they have confirmed it. Enel's death. Indescribable, Weber and their current mood. Enel has been in charge of Sky Island for so long. The Sandian warriors have failed again and again. Over time, even if he is determined to take back Appiato, Enel in their hearts, like a demon, can never be erased. Until today, they finally saw hope. Enel is dead. You just used the same thunderbolt as Enel. Do you want to be like Enel, becoming the new god of Sky Island? Suddenly remembered something, Weber asked Luo Wen cautiously. Can kill Enel. There is no doubt that Luo Wen's strength will only become stronger. If Luo Wen's purpose is the same as Enel, then for all Aboriginal people of Sky Island, definitely not good news. This also means that they are about to face a more terrifying existence. We Shandia warriors will not give up the pursuit of freedom. If your purpose is the same as Enel, we will declare war with you here. Hot eyes, fearless expression. As a warrior who wants to take back his homeland, Weber shows the will and courage. Let Luo Wen's eyes light up. Even if you know that resisting me will result in death. Luo Wen suddenly asked with a playful smile. That's right, Sandia warriors. Only those who died in battle. No surrender. Weber's words changed Luo Wen's view of the Shandia warrior in front of him. At least in the face of a more powerful enemy, Weber did not have the slightest timidity. Advertisement Chapter 14 Ancient Species, Buchner's Leopard Fruit. Ha! Don't worry, my goal is Enel's Thunder Fruit. Now that it's in hand, Sky Island should also return to freedom. What god? No longer exists. Luo Wen's hearty laughter was passed into Weber's ears. After a few words, Wei Bo and the others froze in place. Several soldiers around Weber couldn't help but redden their eyes. On behalf of all the people of Sky Island, thank you. Immediately, under the leadership of Weber, several people gave Luo Wen the highest thanks. Weber, Sky Island, your hometown, will return to freedom. What are your plans next? Luo Wen then asked. Intend? Not yet. Being able to recapture Appiato is already my greatest wish. As Weber said, getting Sky Island out of Enel's hands was already his biggest dream. Now it is confirmed that Luo Wen has no intention of occupying Sky Island. Weber was really at a loss. Are you interested in going to sea with me and seeing the world below? I will build a pirate group. I hope you are one of the crew members. Luo Wen looked at Weber and sent an invitation. Weber's fighting talent is unquestionable. Otherwise, it is impossible to always contend with Enel's domination and survive every time. As for the current strength is relatively weak, it does not matter. Luo Wen has a way to make Weber stronger. Advertisement, what he saw was what Weber just showed, the unyielding will of a soldier. This is a must for a strong man. If you don't even have the courage to face a powerful enemy, let alone become a strong one. The world below? Can I? Sure. At the sincere invitation of Luo Wen, Weber slowly clenched his fists. Luo Wen helped them get rid of Enel, which was a great kindness, and he couldn't repay it. After careful consideration, I finally made a decision. I would like to join. Captain. A captain. Let Luo Wen's mouth slightly raise. In this way, Luo Wen's pirate group, the first crew member, has been recruited. Later, Luo Wen asked the rest of the Shandia warriors to spread the news of the liberation of Sky Island. He briefly explained his abilities to new crew member Weber. Now that Weber has agreed to join the pirates, the next step is to improve Weber's strength. Luo Wen currently has 2 other devil fruits in his hands. Zoan Ancient Cat Fruit, Buchner's Leopard Form, and Paramecia Fast Fruit. According to Luo Wen's vision, the combination of the 2 fruits will definitely give the owner a qualitative leap in speed. As for the 2 devil fruits, Luo Wen is ready to give the newly added Weber. As a Sky Islander, Weber was able to fight against a thunder fruit capable person like Enel for a long time, and he was not killed. Obviously, he has a good foundation in physical skills and fighting talent. In addition, his will is very firm, and he has the potential to become a strong man. Crucially, loyalty is also good. That's why Luo Wen is willing to cultivate vigorously. No, Captain Luo Wen. It's so precious. After listening to Luo Wen's story, Weber shook his head and refused. Advertisement, knowing the effects of 2 devil fruits, you can naturally know how precious they are. Weber asked himself that he had just joined, and he did not deserve to have it without any credit. Just now, he made an oolong and attacked Luo Wen. Luckily, Luo Wen doesn't blame him. How dare he be greedy? What a straight guy. Hearing this, Luo Wen couldn't help but mumble. If you want to eat, you can eat. For every crew member in the future, I will try my best to match the right pair of fruits. Only when your strength becomes stronger can you help me better. As he spoke, Luo Wen first threw the Buchner leopard fruit to Weber. Take the fruit. Weber looked down at devil fruit with a special leopard pattern. Looking at Luo Wen, who was nodding at him, he was moved. No longer hesitate. Bite the fruit in one bite. It was so unpalatable. This mouthful almost didn't let Weber spit it out on the spot. Fortunately, Weber is also a ruthless man, and he swallowed devil fruit completely by pinching his nose. Next moment, Weber's eyes widened, his hands clenched tightly. It seemed that the devil fruit swallowed into the body turned into an extremely pure power. The constant shock inside the body spreads out. Kaka. Immediately after, Weber let out a low growl. Limbs suddenly fell to the ground. The whole body, flesh and blood, kept squirming. Brown leopard fur with rapid growth. In a blink of an eye, it turned into a leopard beast whose size had doubled in size and was majestic. Advertisement chapter 15 Double Speed Blessing. Roar! A roar sounded like a sonic shock. The surrounding ground is set off by dust. Good. Try running at your full speed first. See. Luo Wen nodded with satisfaction. It's just the changes in animal form after eating the fruit. The breath emanating from Weber's body was completely different. It gives people a vicious aura of a beast. The transformed Bryce's leopard form is obviously much stronger than the ordinary Zoan. Boom! With Luo Wen's voice falling, Weber, who transformed into a leopard form, exerted force on all 4 limbs at the same time. The ground was instantly smashed into a pit. At the same time, Bryce's leopard burst out with amazing speed and rushed out in an instant. Instant burst speed is fast. Luo Wen was a little surprised. So fast. Compared with Weber's original speed, it has undoubtedly increased several times. Okay, next, I will remove the negative effects of devil fruit for you. Eat the second devil fruit. After a while, Luo Wen waved to Weber to return. Bruce leopard. It is the oldest leopard that appeared 110,000 years ago. It can be said that it is the ancestor of all cats, fruits, and leopards. The increase in body after eating is much stronger than Rob Lucci's Zoan cat, fruit, and leopard form. Rob Lucci is CP9's once-in-a-century genius, and Weber is also an elite genius among the Shandians. I believe that, with the blessing of Bryce's leopard form, Weber's future ceiling will never be worse than Rob Lucci. Even stronger, because Luo Wen will let Weber eat the second devil fruit. Next, I will remove the negative effects of devil fruit for you. Advertisement, just stand there, watching Weber gradually returning to his human appearance. Luo Wen slowly stretched out his right hand and placed his palm on Weber's forehead. Negative effects, get rid of beep. For a moment, an azure blue energy light was released from Luo Wen's palm. The light of energy enveloped Weber's body in a blink of an eye. After a while, the light gradually dissipated. Withdraw palm. The negative effects of devil fruit have been eliminated. This ability to remove can only be used once for the same person. After eating the second devil fruit, cannot be used. That's okay. Weber looked at the body, did not find any difference. This is the second devil fruit. Quick fruit. Eat it too. Luo Wen also handed the second devil fruit to Weber. Gollum, without hesitation. Weber trusts it very much and swallows the second devil fruit like a gourd. This time, it did not cause a direct change on the surface like eating the Buchner leopard fruit. Webb just closed his eyes. I can feel another force in my body. Subsequently, he opened his eyes again. The energy of the second devil fruit was also digested. Try your new abilities, see. Luo Wen also expressed curiosity. Heard. Advertisement. Weber agreed. Picked up a small stone. Some rusty people apply the ability effect of the quick fruit to the small stone. Call out. Next moment, Webb threw small stones with all his might. At first, the speed of the small stone was not particularly exaggerated. Instead, after throwing it out, the quick fruit ability works. The instant acceleration made the small stones whistled with a piercing wind. The last flash. The wall in front of him was smashed into an astonishing hole. Fast fruit. The ability effect is to accelerate the speed of a person or object. The speed that can be accelerated will increase according to the level of development. Not a pure speed increase, but a rate. It is said to have developed to a certain extent. Even the reflex nerves can be sped up. Come again. At the same time, use your leopard form to sprint, plus the acceleration of the speed fruit. Immediately after, Luo Wen said to Weber again, "Roar!" One command. Weber held back his strength and slowly transformed into the Bryce's leopard form again, which was also slightly unfamiliar. It's not over yet. After transforming into a leopard form, another translucent energy lingered on the surface of the Buchner leopard's body. That is naturally the energy of the quick fruit. Boom! In an instant, the leopard that Weber transformed into uses all four limbs. Just one step. The sudden burst of speed even created afterimages left by high-speed movement along the way. Buchner's leopard fruit and susu fruit are used in combination for the first time. It showed an amazing effect. The speed of this improvement has far exceeded expectations. The naked eye of ordinary people can't keep up with the high-speed moving Buchner's leopard. Advertisement Chapter 16 Sky Island Practice Target Alabasta. It is seen that the actual effect is in line with the theory and even exceeds expectations. Leave time can be used in perfect combination. The speed of the explosion is definitely the first person under Kizaru's sparkling fruit. Even surpassing it is not empty talk. Luo Wen nodded with satisfaction. Boom! At the end of the test, it was Weber's unskilled braking. He slammed his head into the wall and ended up dazed. So far, Luo Wen also came to a conclusion. A double fruit with a high degree of fit. It is indeed a perfect complement to each other. But using two devil fruit abilities at the same time is also huge for physical exertion. Just look at Weber. Only ran for a while. Already tired and out of breath. It seems necessary to stay on Sky Island for a while. Made Weber more proficient at using the two devil fruit abilities. And Luo Wen himself has just acquired the thunder fruit ability. It also takes time to master the combination of Beamon fruit and thunder fruit. That night, Sky Island hosted an unprecedented feast. Learn that Enel is dead. News of Sky Island's return to freedom. Let the Aboriginal people of Sky Island express their most sincere thanks to Luo Wen. A special feast was held to entertain Luo Wen, the god killer and great benefactor. Luo Wen also readily accepted this. The next period of time. Advertisement, you have to stay in Sky Island to practice and familiarize yourself with the double devil fruit. Inevitably troubled Sky Island Aboriginals. This night, sing and dance on Sky Island. A joyous atmosphere. 3 rounds of wine. Luo Wen returned to the resting place. Think about your next plan. In the next period of time, they will stay in Sky Island to cultivate and improve their strength. The problem with the pirate ship is solved. The problem of funding is also filled with Shandora's gold. So don't worry. After the training is over, it is time to consider the continued development of the pirates. The first is to recruit more crew. Don't worry about this. You have to be loyal enough to recruit it. The right candidates can only be searched for. The second is the hunting of devil fruit. Since you want to recruit a new crew, you must have a new devil fruit in hand. All 3 devil fruits in Luo Wen's hands have been used up. Time to consider the new devil fruit pairing hunt. Thought here. Suddenly, an organization's name flashed in Luo Wen's mind. Baroque Studio. That is the faction established by Shichibukai, Sand Crocodile. There are many demon fruit powers among them. There is one more. Luo Wen desperately wanted to recruit her to the pirates. Son of the devil, Nico Robin. In today's world, the only one survived, able to interpret the existence of historical texts. Advertisement, and according to the current timeline, Robin is still hiding his identity in the Baroque studio, codenamed Missile Sunday. If Robin can also be recruited into the pirate group, undoubtedly, there will be a decisive push for the discovery of the pirates. Sand Crocodile, I remember that you seem to be eyeing Pluton of ancient weapon. I'd like to see it. So-called Shichibukai. How strong is it? In the next period of time, Sky Island was no less lively. After learning that Luo Wen needed to prepare more gold, the Aborigines of Sky Island acted completely spontaneously. A large number of Aboriginal people entered Shandola and transported the golden treasures to the Ark Proverbs one after another. Actually, this is understandable. Gold has little appeal for the Sky Island natives. After all, they live on Sky Island all the year round, relying on self-sufficiency for life, and they have never traded with foreign countries. The gold left by Shandora is of little value to them. Now Luo Wen has liberated Sky Island, and the residents are willing to hand over the gold to Luo Wen. Time came half a month after the liberation of Sky Island. Basically, the gold that can be transported away has been loaded on the Ark Proverbs. Sky Island residents have kept only a small portion for other uses. Angel Island, Cute Street. This is where the Sky Island Aboriginal people live. In the center of the street, the residents are listening to the command of the priests, preparing to form a defense team belonging to Sky Island under the leadership of the priests. In this way, the safety of Sky Island is better guaranteed. As for the 4 God-tier officials, after the liberation of Sky Island, they still retain their names. But it is no longer the squeezing relationship in the past, but a friendly relationship. Boom! Just when everyone was discussing enthusiastically, suddenly, a thunderous sound resounded through the entire Sky Island. Everyone looked in the direction the thunder came from. That's north of Sky Island, the uninhabited Cloud Island area. Advertisement Chapter 17, the combination of 2 fruits has unlimited potential. Half a month ago, Luo Wen made a special explanation to everyone. Taking Xiao Jin and Weber alone, he went to that area and used it as a place to train and familiarize himself with the abilities of the double devil fruit. My God! See it? What it is? Look in the direction the sound came from. The residents of Sky Island were surprised one by one. As far as the eyes can see, the training ground of Luo Wen and the others in the north, one after another. Huge thunderbolts descended one after another. In the raging rage of the endless madness, there seems to be a huge beast shadow full of thunder light, slowly emerging. Every move of the beast shadow is like treating the thunder and lightning that shakes the world as a toy. Even from a long distance, everyone can feel it. That terrifying aura far surpassed the original Enel Thor's attitude. It's Lord Luo Wen. That must be the power of Lord Luo Wen. For God-tier officials are very sure. At the same time, they also secretly rejoiced. Luo Wen, who has this power, has no intention of occupying Sky Island. Otherwise, even if all of them add up, it is estimated that they will not be able to resist the blow of this thunder and lightning beast shadow in front of them. The vision between heaven and earth soon dissipated. As the thunder and lightning dissipated, the vaguely appearing beast shadow also disappeared. A long time after that, every few days, Sky Island is shaken by endless thunder. The animal shadow that seemed to be bathed in thunder also became more and more solid as time passed. The duration is getting longer and longer. Advertisement until one day after half a year. The 4 God-tier officials came to Yundao, the training ground, on time and brought a large amount of food to Luo Wen and Weber. Here, what happened? This is the first time the 4 God-tier officials have entered Yundao. In the past, they left the food on the edge of Yundao. The priests found out after they were there. The depths of the entire Cloud Island are already riddled with holes. Incomparably huge animal prints can be seen everywhere, as well as the astonishing traces that the mad thunder left after it fell. It's hard to imagine what happened here before that. Roar! At this moment, the earth trembled violently. The familiar giant beast shadow appeared in front of the priest again. The difference is that this time, The body of the beast's shadow does not have the power of thunder and lightning lingering, but it still gave the priest a great sense of oppression. Weber, remember, speed is your absolute advantage. If you don't make a move, you must resolve the battle with thunder. Luo Wen in Beamon's form suddenly said, "Call out." Next moment, the figure of a leopard beast appeared, and the speed was so fast that the four god-tier officials did not notice its appearance at all, as if it had been there from the beginning. "I understand," Weber, who turned into a Bryant's leopard, promised Luo Wen. After half a year of precipitation, at this time, Weber, the aura emanating from his body, has become very powerful. Not only the physical strength improvement brought about by the Brycia leopard fruit, but also the combination of Brycia leopard fruit and Susu fruit has also been developed to a certain extent. Advertisement, and there's hockey. Weber's foundation is good. Under Luo Wen's careful guidance for half a year, he has initially learned armament hockey and observation hockey. Especially observation hockey. It seems to be derived from Zoan's beast intuition and the blessing of the reflex, nerves by the fruit of speed. Weber has shown amazing talent in the practice of observation hockey. The use and improvement of the knowledge color is obviously better than the arm color. According to Luo Wen's estimation, Weber now has the strength comparable to Marine's ordinary vice admiral. If the double fruit ability is fully activated, it is not impossible to compete with the Naval Headquarters elite vice admiral. Compared with half a year ago, the strength is a qualitative leap. As for Luo Wen, the strength of the body, that is strength and defense, has once again increased a lot. The combination of Beamon fruit and thunder fruit has become more and more proficient. To what extent the specific strength has been improved, Luo Wen has no bottom in his heart. All I can say is strong, very strong. The perfect combination of the dual fruit ability is the power that breaks the rules and cannot be defined. Luo, Lord Luo Wen, we're here to bring you food. When Luo Wen and Weber stopped training to fight, one of the four god-tier officials shouted loudly. Hearing this, Luo Wen and Weber all looked at the priest's location. Beep. For a moment, the light shines. The beasts of Beamon and the leopards both disappeared, replaced by the human appearances of Luo Wen and Weber. It's you. Exactly, my stomach has been hungry for a long time. Immediately afterwards, Luo Wen and Weber dodged and came to the four god-tier officials. Advertisement Chapter 18 Leaving. Coming to Alabasta, even if they change back to human appearance, the speed that the two of them have at this time cannot be kept up with the naked eye of four god-tier officials. Little Jean, dinner's ready. Seeing the food piled up as high as a hill in front of him, Luo Wen blew a whistle immediately. Whoosh! The golden eagle Xiao Jin let out a long cry and descended from a distance, enjoying the meal with Luo Wen and Weber. Especially Luo Wen. With the growth of strength, the food intake has become more amazing. Luo Wen and the three of them swept away the food that was piled high, and most of the food was eaten by Luo Wen. Satisfied, after a full meal, Luo Wen patted his stomach and laughed. It's almost time to count. Weber Kim, we have to go to our next destination. After a while, before the Ark Proverbs, Lord Luo Wen, are you really leaving Sky Island? The four god-tier officials and representatives of the Aborigines in Sky Island all expressed their attention after knowing that Luo Wen was about to leave. Without him, with Luo Wen there, it's like their god. Unlike Enel's exploitation, Luo Wen's existence is the god who guards their Sky Island. Hearing that Luo Wen was leaving, he was naturally reluctant. I still have my goals. Don't worry if something happens to Sky Island. I will come back to help you. Advertisement during the past 6 months. Luo Wen deeply felt the simplicity of Sky Island people. Luo Wen is also quite fond of this group of lovely races who have no connection with the outside world and only live in 1/3 of their own land. Luo Wen will come to help if there is an accident on Sky Island. Goodbye-bye, fate. Say it. Luo Wen gestured to Xiao Jin and Weber beside him. The two of them boarded the huge ark with one eagle. Zizizi. Boom. Immediately afterwards, Luo Wen released Thunder Fruit's Thunderbolt as the driving force. The huge ark motto slowly lifted off and flew towards the sky outside Sky Island. The moment Ark Proverbs left Sky Island, The entire Sky Island residents silently lowered their heads, put one hand on their chest, and watched Ark Proverbs leave. On the Ark Proverbs, "Captain, where are we going next?" Weber, who was not sure of the destination of his next stop, asked Luo Wen curiously. This is the first time that Weber has left Sky Island, and he is full of curiosity about the world below Sky Island. Alabasta, a country built in a desert. The second crew member I want to invite to join is right there. Luo Wen replied with a smile. Nico Robin. This is exactly the goal of Luo Wen's trip. Sizzle, think about it. Luo Wen released more thunder and lightning, accelerated the flight of the Ark Mantra, compared the chart all the way, and headed towards the location of Alabasta. Advertisement Alabasta and Gaia Island below Sky Island are both located in the first half of the Grand Line, and the distance between the two places is not too far. Under the accelerated journey of Ark Proverbs, in just 2 days, Ark Proverbs came to the sky over Rabaston. After confirming the direction again, Luo Wen controlled the Ark motto and came to the rainy land in Alabasta. Rain. Alabasta's dream city is also the home of Crocodile. The largest casino in the kingdom, the Rain Feast, was established here. At this time, in the rain, Crocodile's men were not aware of the danger approaching. The whole city is full of lively atmosphere. Oh! The largest building in town, in front of the headquarters building of the Baroque studio. Suddenly, a terrifying gust of wind blew, and under the gust of strong wind, the sand and dust roared up in the sky, blowing away the surrounding crowds and retreating. What happened? Why is there a sudden dust storm in the town? No, not a sandstorm. Look at the sky. After a loud noise, someone finally found out that something was wrong. As the dust rose, a huge shadow shrouded the entire town. Hearing the reminder sound, everyone looked up. A look of disbelief appeared on each of their faces. It was an extremely huge Ark ship with a whole body of golden light. With a very domineering trend, it slowly descended. Boom! As soon as the Ark Proverbs landed on the ground, the moment it came into contact with the earth, the ground shook violently, and the wind and sand blew up all the stalls in the surrounding towns and streets. This huge movement was naturally noticed by everyone in the Baroque studio. Hundreds of Baroque studio members ran out of the base camp building. Advertisement Chapter 19 Weber vs. Mr. 1 headed by Nico Robin and Mr. 1 Daz Bonus. This is a ship made of gold. But why did the ship appear here? Rao was shocked by the scene in front of him based on Mr. 1's knowledge. Never heard of a ship that can drop from the sky and appear on land. Moreover, this seems to be a ship that is made of a lot of gold and seems to be extremely expensive to build. After a while, the wind and sand that had been lifted gradually subsided and dissipated. Mr. 1 and Robin suddenly noticed that 2 figures appeared on the edge of the golden ship. You really are here, Nico Robin. On the edge of the Ark Proverbs, Luo Wen also noticed Robin for the first time. The corners of his mouth slowly raised a happy arc immediately afterwards. He jumped down with Weber next to him and came to Mr. 1 and Robin. Who are you? Do you know that this is the site of the Baroque studio? The appearance of Luo Wen and Weber instantly alerted the members of the Baroque studio gathered around. Headed by Mr. 1, staring at Luo Wen, he gave a stern warning. Nico Robin, I have something to talk to you about. If you don't mind, go to my boat. However, Luo Wen didn't even look directly at Mr. 1. Just looking at Robin, he said slowly, Advertisement really. As soon as I heard Luo Wen was looking for Robin, Mr. 1 grabbed his hands in an instant, and his arms turned into sharp blades. There is a big disagreement, and it looks like he immediately shoots. Robin is a very special existence in the Baroque studio, and Mr. 1 also knows that Robin is not really doing things for Crocodile. Once Robin behaves differently, Mr. 1 will take it down without hesitation. As for Luo Wen in front of him, Mr. 1 will not let go. Feeling the hostility of Mr. 1, Robin frowned slightly. I don't seem to know you. I know now. Luo Wen didn't care either and said with a smile. Boom! Next moment, Mr. 1's killing intent was surging. He stepped on the ground with both feet and rushed straight towards Luo Wen. The blades transformed from dice fruit on both arms were cut straight to Luo Wen's neck. Weber, C. There was no panic on Luo Wen's face. The speed of Mr. Wen's explosion is indeed amazing, but in Luo Wen's eyes, it is as slow as a turtle. Understood, Captain? Boom! Weber on the side instantly understood. Just when Mr. Wen rushed to Luo Wen's close position, he shot instantly. Advertisement with a quick, accurate punch, it hit Mr. Wen's stomach with precision and immediately knocked him back. Cough! What a powerful force! Mr. Wen, who was ejected, forcibly stopped the backward trend with his hands and feet. After stabilizing his body, he coughed twice, and his eyes widened in surprise. Unexpectedly, Weibo, who is next to Luo Wen, has such strength. It's not your turn to do anything to our captain. With one blow, Mr. Wen was repelled strongly, Weber said with a smile. For a time, the atmosphere on both sides seemed to have dropped to freezing point, and a strong, murderous aura filled the air. Roar! Clang, clang. In an instant, Weber and Mr. Wen rushed to each other again. This is the first battle in Qinghai, so Weber is very cautious. Mr. Wen has a blade transformed from Dice Fruit, which is amazing in both slashing power and defense. It's a pity that Weber has the double speed increase of Buchner's Leopard Fruit and Susu Fruit, and Mr. Wen can't touch Weber at all. Like a real cheetah, Weber kept running around Mr. Wen, looking for the opportunity to open up before launching a fierce attack. In just a few rounds, the battle between the two turned into a unilateral beating by Mr. Wen. Weber is like a ghost, with countless phantoms appearing, constantly hitting around Mr. Wen. If Weber didn't want to experience the fun of fighting and didn't use armament hockey, Mr. Wen would have been defeated in an instant. How is that possible? They suppressed Mr. Wen so easily. What is their origin? Listen to their conversation. This one named Weber is just a crew member. Aside, Robin's expression changed slightly. The other party came for her. Robin's first reaction was the killer of the world government, or Marine. After all, there are not many people who know her existence, and the only one who can follow her is the world government, which desperately wants to eliminate her. The strange thing is that Weber called Luo Wen in the way of a pirate captain. Advertisement chapter 20 recovered Dice Fruit. This made Robin even more puzzled. When did such a pirate group appear on the sea? And even their Baroque studio did not receive any news. Boom! Tear! Just when Robin secretly guessed the origins of Luo Wen and Weber. The battle between Weber and Mr. Wen has also changed. Weber took advantage of Mr. Wen's gradual accustom to his offensive and instantly entered the half-beast form. Use the high-speed movement of the leopard fruit to cooperate with the acceleration of the speedy fruit. Instant speed is once again raised a notch. At the moment when the Mr. Wen nerve can't react at all, grab a gap. The sharp animal claws tore open the flesh and blood on Mr. Wen's chest. One hit. Mr. Wen was slapped and flew out, knocking down a member of the Baroque studio, and then it stopped. At the same time, Luo Wen smiled and nodded with satisfaction. Mr. Wen's strength is not bad. His whole body can transform into a sharp blade, which is a nightmare for those who do not know armament hockey. But for the current Weber, it's still not enough. It is impossible for Mr. Wen to convert all parts of the body into blades. So as long as Weber's speed exceeds Mr. Wen's reaction speed, then Mr. Wen will only be defeated. Weber easily defeated Mr. Wen without using armament hockey, much to Luo Wen's satisfaction. If he continues to grow like this, Weber will definitely become one of his powerful forces in the future. Damn it! Come on with me, all? Kill them! Look at the injured Mr. Wen. Looking at the bloody wound on his chest, his anger instantly ignited. Advertisement no matter what the one-on-one thing is now. With an order, hundreds of members of the Baroque studio surrounded and attacked Weber and Luo Wen. Even Robin, under Mr. Wen's fierce eyes, raised his hands, ready to use his devil fruit ability. I advise you not to do that. Because of them, it will be over soon. Robin just made a move. Luo Wen's cold voice entered Robin's ears. Weber, come back. Immediately after, Luo Wen shouted again. Weibo suddenly realized that Luo Wen was about to make a move, and quickly lifted the half-beast appearance and returned to Luo Wen's side. Sizzle. As members of the Baroque studio approached, Luo Wen's eyes narrowed into a dangerous arc. Small streaks of thunder light gradually appeared on Luo Wen's body. A terrifying aura of destruction quietly exudes. God's punishment. Luo Wen's voice fell, and his right hand suddenly raised into the air. The majestic and violent thunder and lightning were instantly released from the palm of his hand. Boom! Next moment, the lightning that was released crashed down in midair. One after another, thrilling thunder pillars fell quickly and completely exploded in the crowd in the Baroque studio. What? Accompanied by tragic screams and the picture of blood flying. Hundreds of people in the Baroque studio were the opponents of this kind of thunder and lightning. Just a face-to-face bombardment. Advertisement. Hundreds of people screamed and fell down, and the ground was split into one after another astonishingly charred pit. Especially where Mr. One was, the lightning power was the most powerful. The merciless thunder struck Mr. One's body to pieces and fell into a pool of blood. Until now, Mr. One has no idea what kind of monster he has provoked. After a while, the thunder faded. The raging thunder light slowly dissipated. Except for Luo Wen, Weber, and Robin, who was deliberately avoided under control. A mess, with tears all over the floor. Can actually control lightning. Seeing this scene with his own eyes, Robin was dumbfounded. Is that really something humans can do? Robin realizes that Luo Wen is clearly a demon fruit power as well, and its ability is to control and release the thunder and lightning of destruction. Should have a breath. It's time to hurry up. With the irresistible thunderbolt power of thunder fruit, Luo Wen quickly walked up to Mr. One, who fell to the ground. Forbidden black coffin. Think about it. A huge black coffin was immediately summoned. Luo Wen immediately carried Mr. One into the black coffin and put in the prepared fruit at the same time. Beep! A black light appeared from the surface of the coffin. Mr. One's dice fruit ability was recovered in a blink of an eye and regenerated into a brand new devil fruit. Done with this, Luo Wen put away the black coffin and held the newly recycled dice fruit in his hand. Seeing this unexplainable picture again, Robin couldn't help rubbing his eyes to confirm the reality of what he saw. Advertisement. Chapter 21. Fool Robin. Just a short moment of effort. Mr. One's dice fruit was recycled and reborn. This has completely surpassed Robin's understanding. Recycled devil fruit. Once this news spreads, it is enough to shake the entire pirate world. That was something that had never happened before. Something incredible. You don't have to go to the ship now. Can you have a good talk with me? Nico. Robin. Immediately after, Luo Wen looked at Robin, who had been standing still in surprise, and spoke again. You, who the hell are you? Just now, did you retrieve Mr. One's dice fruit? Also, why did you find me? Robin woke up. Immediately, a series of questions blurted out. I'll explain it to you one by one. My name is Luo Wen, and his name is Weber. What I used just now was indeed the ability to recover devil fruit. As for the reason for finding you, I'm forming a pirate group and want to invite you to join us. Although there have been speculations for a long time, I really learned the truth from Luo Wen's mouth. Robin still couldn't help but feel upside down. Someone really can recover devil fruit ability. And Luo Wen meant to invite her to join the pirates? Advertisement. It's just that Robin doesn't understand why it's her. With Luo Wen showing the strength of devil fruit, why did she choose her to join the pirates? You seem to have some doubts about why I chose you. Because we have a common enemy. Seeing to see Robin's doubts, Luo Wen explained slowly. Common enemy? Hearing this, Robin was puzzled. World government. Luo Wen immediately explained to Robin frankly. If you want to recruit Robin, strength alone is not enough. You must also get her approval. Otherwise, forcibly recruiting Robin into the pirate group will only have the opposite effect. This is the first time Luo Wen has confessed his past experiences to others. The world government secretly supported traitors to usurp the throne, forced the old king to death, and let him live on a desert island. As for the cultivation on the deserted island and the origin of the black coffin, I didn't go into too much detail. After all, this is Luo Wen's most important hole card. It turns out that your country is also persecuted by the world government. After listening to Luo Wen, Robin finally relaxed his vigilance towards Luo Wen. The experiences of the two are very similar to some extent. The difference is, The kingdom of Warayli was not destroyed, but fell into the control of traitors and the world government. And O'Hara, who was born by Robin, was erased and disappeared forever by Buster Call. Their hatred of the world government is the same. Only want to fight against the world government. Easier said than done. Otherwise, Robin wouldn't have had to wander in the underground world for so many years and finally joined the Baroque Work Society to seek asylum. Well, you don't have to rush to promise me now. Advertisement: when I defeat the sand crocodile, how about you choose whether to join my pirate group? Seeing that Robin was still a little hesitant, after all, his life was at stake, Luo Wen continued with understanding. Defeating Sand Crocodile undoubtedly proved Luo Wen's strength. At least compared to the Sand Crocodile, Robin can be given enough protection. Defeat Crocodile? Robin was obviously a little moved. If Luo Wen can really defeat the crocodile of the 7 warlords of the sea, there is no doubt about his strength. And once the crocodile is defeated and the Baroque studio loses its head, it doesn't take long for it to fall apart. Robin, who lost his hidden identity as a shelter in the Baroque studio, is about to return to the days of hiding. Instead, it would be a better place to really defeat Crocodile's Luo Wen pirates. Robin was lost in thought. Neither refused nor immediately agreed. Is Sand Crocodile here? Knowing that actual actions can explain everything better, Luo Wen immediately asked Robin. He happened to be out, not in the rain. Robin shook his head to explain, but if you're really sure you want to fight him, I have the flares here to urgently summon him, as well as other members of the Baroque cadre abroad. Robin added, it was a Baroque studio, a flare that only the highest-ranking cadres could hold. Once launched, all the top cadres of the Baroque studio will be summoned, including Crocodile. All right, I'm also worried that it will be very troublesome to find them one by one, appearing together just to solve them all at once. Who knows? Luo Wen wasn't worried at all and signaled Robin to release the flare. Advertisement Chapter 22: Shocking Robin. Call out, boom. Soever, at Luo Wen's insistence, Robin released the summoned flare into the air. The gorgeous Hanabi exploded in the sky in the rain was instantly visible to the high-level Baroque studios scattered all over Alabasta. The capital of Alabasta, not too far from the rain, is Albana. On the huge fence, the wind and sand gathered in the sky, turned into a familiar figure. It is the Sand Crocodile. It's an emergency call flare. Looking at the direction, it seems to be launched from the rain. Could it be that something happened in the rain? Crocodile frowned. The rain is the base of the Baroque studio, and it is his most important base, which cannot be missed. After thinking about it, Crocodile waved. The body once again turned into a mass of sand and rushed straight towards the direction of the rain. The same thing happened all over Alabasta. Seeing the emergency call for the signal flare, the senior officials of the Baroque studio put down their work and rushed to the rainy base camp. Look back to the rain under the arc proverbs. After releasing the flare, Luo Wen continued to talk with Robin. Join my pirate group. I will absolutely guarantee your safety. And after joining, I will give you the ability to eat the second devil fruit. Luo Wen's words exploded like a bomb in Robin's heart. What did you say? Eat the second devil fruit? Advertisement: the ability to recover devil fruit is something that cannot be understood with common sense. Now Luo Wen told her that the crew could have the physique to eat the second devil fruit. How could Robin not be surprised? Robin, who is familiar with history, naturally knows that once a person eats 2 devil fruits, the curse of the 2 devil fruits will erupt in the body. The final result was that the body could not withstand the curse of the 2 devil fruits and exploded to death. Eating 2 devil fruits and not dying is unprecedented. Don't doubt my words. Me and Weber are both demon fruit powers. After that, Luo Wen smiled and showed the ability of double devil fruit in person. The thunderbolt you just saw is the power of the Logia thunder fruit I ate. This is easy. In an instant, Luo Wen raised his hand slightly. The violent thunder and lightning condensed and flickered on Luo Wen's palm. Then this is my other devil fruit ability. Zoan Eudemons, Beamon form. Click. Immediately after, Luo Wen's thoughts moved, and the ability of Beamon fruit was also activated. In an instant, Luo Wen's body rapidly expanded and enlarged, and the unique silver-white animal hair quickly grew and appeared. Roar! In the blink of an eye, a huge and ferocious beast with silvery white hair, an extremely huge and powerful body, and sharp fangs and claws appeared in front of Robin's eyes. It's actually true. Two different devil fruit abilities. Seeing Luo Wen's two devil fruit abilities with his own eyes, Robin's inner shock cannot be described in words. On this day, things that broke her cognition came one after another. Can you believe what I'm saying now? After a while, advertisement Luo Wen changed back to a human appearance and said to Robin with a smile, "I believe I'm willing to join your pirate group." Robin clenched his fists and finally made a decision. The ability of a flower fruit alone gives Robin a certain ability to protect himself. If there is one more devil fruit ability, Robin can even imagine the picture that Luo Wen mentioned to her about the double devil fruit abilities of all members of the pirates. If it really develops, that is definitely enough to shake the power of world government. As for the sand crocodile, Luo Wen's thunder fruit is much stronger than sand crocodile's sand fruit. What's more, Luo Wen is a double demon fruit power. Then next, I will remove the negative effects of devil fruit for you. Successfully recruit Robin to join the pirates while there is still time. Luo Wen did not delay and directly removed the negative effects of devil fruit for the newly added Robin. Beep! I saw Luo Wen come into Robin. Reaching out his right hand, the palm rested on Robin's forehead. The familiar azure blue energy light was released, wrapping Robin's body in a blink of an eye. After a while, the energy light that removes the negative effects gradually dissipates. Luo Wen retracted his palm. "All right, this is done." Robin couldn't help but be surprised. "I thought this kind of heaven-defying ability would be a complicated process." Result. In just a moment, Luo Wen said it was done. Advertisement Chapter 23 Hua plus Jean. Robin joins. This is the dice fruit of Mr. One that I just collected. I think it fits very well with your flower fruit. Luo Wen then handed over the recovered dice fruit to Robin. Dice fruit is a knife that can turn any part of the body into a sharp blade. The flower fruit is a limb-shaped flower that can grow from anywhere. When Luo Wen retrieved dice fruit, he decided to give it to Robin. As you can imagine, flower fruit is everywhere. Combined with dice fruits /cut. The palms and arms grown from flower fruit can be directly turned into blades. The enemy is completely invincible, and you don't have to get close. You can achieve the fatal blow of slitting the throat. And the combination of this kind of double fruit cannot be cracked. After Robin's armament hockey also cultivates, the cutting power of the blade will only continue to soar. Flower fruit and dice fruit are very compatible with each other. Indeed, dice fruit and my flower fruit work well together. Hearing Luo Wen explain how to play, Robin nodded in agreement. Flower fruit with dice fruit. It's not a problem to take the head of an enemy general in the midst of 10,000 armies. Gollum! Thinking of this, Robin no longer hesitated and ate dice fruit decisively. Different from Luo Wen, Weber eating devil fruit, Robin is carrying out her one-isen demeanor. No matter how unpleasant it was, he just frowned and suppressed the unpleasant expression. After eating the second devil fruit dice fruit, Robin could only feel another unrepelled majestic energy crashing into his body. Immediately after, when the power of dice fruit was completely digested, Robin raised his hand. Advertisement brush. The outside of the entire arm has become an extremely sharp blade. It really worked. Seeing the double fruit ability with his own eyes, Robin couldn't help but exclaim again. This undoubtedly confirms Luo Wen's statement that his crew can really become dual fruit abilities. And once this pirate group with double fruit ability develops, even Marine and world government will definitely change their color for this. This is the real power to shake the world government. Robin subconsciously looked at Luo Wen, realized that this man in front of him will set off a stormy wave in the whole pirate world in the future. Robin, as long as you're really my crew, anyone who wants to threaten your life must walk over my body first. And when the pirates develop, I will avenge O'Hara's revenge for you. After all, We have a common enemy. Trust me, this will be your safest home, Luo Wen solemnly expressed to Robin. Some words, Robin couldn't help but get a little wet in his eyes. Past. What Robin encountered, no matter who, once learned that it was the world government that was chasing her. Without exception, Robin will be thrown away. No one dared to take the initiative to take her in when they knew that the enemy was the world government. Overwhelmed with emotion, Robin pursed his lips and nodded in agreement. At this time, Robin, to a large extent, really wanted to join Luo Wen's pirate group. Advertisement, after a long time, there was a sound of dense footsteps. Hearing the movement, the three Luo Wen came to the entrance and exit of Udi Town. Looking around, hundreds of Baroque studio members are quickly approaching the rain. The number of people is so large that as they walk by, it is like a whirlwind and rolling sand. Quickly, thousands of people lined up neatly in front of Luo Wen and the three of them. The leaders were the senior cadres of the Baroque studio. All of them stared at Luo Wen and the three with vicious eyes. At this time, a gust of wind and sand swept over. The wind and sand gathered in front of everyone in the Baroque studio and quickly turned into a figure. It is the head of the Baroque studio, Shichibukai, crocodile, known as the sand crocodile. Crocodile appeared, and his icy gaze first swept across Luo Wen and Weber. It finally stopped on Robin's body. The corner of his mouth raised a playful arc. Missile Sunday. How? Do you mean to betray me? Sounds like an ordinary question. However, the tone was full of threats. You should know, except for me, in this world, no one will dare to take you in. Hearing Crocodile's words, Robin's body trembled slightly, although he was ready to turn against Crocodile in advance. Advertisement Chapter 24 Hard against the Desert Sword. Terrible defense. But when it came time to actually face it, Robin couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Sand Crocodile, stop threatening Robin there. She's mine now. Seeing Robin's nervousness, Luo Wen reached out and patted Robin's shoulder, indicating that he should not be nervous. Then, Luo Wen let Robin behind him, took the initiative to meet Crocodile's eyes, and said word by word. Guhahaha. Is she yours? Nico, Robin. He bewitched you to betray me, right? Heard. Crocodile raised his head and laughed. Even the name Robin was called by his first name. Robin has promised to join my pirate group. Of course it's mine. It's you. To tell you the truth, I took a fancy to your Baroque studio. Are you going to abdicate voluntarily? Or are you going to let me kill you first and then snatch the Baroque studio? With firm eyes and no fear, Luo Wen continued to speak. Whoa! Luo Wen's words instantly changed Crocodile's face, gradually gloomy. The members of the Baroque studio behind Crocodile were also shocked. The man in front of him actually threatened to snatch the Baroque studio, and even their leader, Crocodile, dared to make threats. The crowd suddenly burst into an uproar. They can already feel the murderous intent rising faintly from Crocodile. Fancy Baroque studio? Interesting. It's been a long time since no one dared to talk to me like that. Advertisement hearing this, Crocodile's mouth curled into a playful sneer. It's been a while since no one dared to provoke him like this. Rustling, as Crocodile's killing intent gradually surged. Crocodile's right arm, slowly elementalized, turned into sand. In a blink of an eye, turned into a sand blade. Desert sword, brush. For a moment, a cold light flashed in Crocodile's eyes, and the arm that turned into a sand blade waved suddenly at Luo Wen. A long and narrow sand blade cut through the desert ground all the way and quickly attacked Luo Wen. However, in the face of Crocodile's attack that can easily smash even the ground, Luo Wen did not show the slightest evasion. Standing on the spot, it was a move that wanted to hit Crocodile with his body. Humph! This guy is too arrogant. Yes, the sand blade of the boss, but even the thick walls can be easily cut. I don't know what a great guy. Luo Wen's actions instantly aroused ridicule from everyone in the Baroque studio. In their opinion, Luo Wen's actions are undoubtedly courting death. Humph! It seems that I overestimated you. Similarly, Crocodile snorted coldly. The sand fruit he owns, the desert treasure sword that he unleashes, is not only extremely powerful. Once it is hit and the skin is broken, a large amount of sand contained in the sand blade will continuously erode in, draining the body's water. That is withering. Kruktal could even imagine that Luo Wen was sucked out of blood by his sand and turned into a mummified corpse. Advertisement boom. Next moment, the sand blade slashed quickly and hit Luo Wen's body squarely. A huge, slashing explosion sounded suddenly. The front of Luo Wen's body exploded with a cloud of sand that blocked his vision. Seeing this scene, Robin in the back couldn't help but get nervous. "Don't worry, Captain Luo Wen, but it's very strong," Weber on the side said indifferently. Among the crowd, only Weber knew Luo Wen's strength best. Really, after the dust gradually dissipated, Luo Wen's figure reappeared in everyone's sight. Crocodile and everyone in the Baroque studio all widened their eyes and looked at the incredible picture in front of them. Unscathed, Luo Wen, who reappeared in the line of sight, was unscathed. With extremely domineering body defense, he resisted the crocodile move. How is this possible? See. Crocodile's pupils shrank slightly. "I just can't accept what I've seen. He must have used some method to avoid my attack." Crocodile could only secretly guess. "I don't believe that Luo Wen really resisted his attack with his physical defense. It seems that my physical strength is enough to resist Sand Fruit's attack." Look at Luo Wen again. Yun Danfeng lightly patted the sand stained on his body and muttered to himself. The reason why he chose to resist this blow is to test his current physical defense. After a period of training on Sky Island, Luo Wen's defense and strength have been further improved. Advertisement Chapter 25, Give me a try. And if you want to test the results of your training, Crocodile, who is the 7 warlords of the sea, is perfect. Sand Crocodile. Your attack isn't the only level, is it? Luo Wen was full of sarcasm and said to Crocodile. Tone. One sentence instantly ignited Crocodile's anger. "Don't get carried away there. Desert King Kong's sword. Where has Crocodile been so humiliated?" he shouted. The open arms continuously released a larger amount of sand, forming 4 huge sand blades in a blink of an eye. Immediately after, the arms shook. 4 huge sand blades, in the form of a pincer attack, cut to Luo Wen's body from the left and right sides. Sizzle. At the same time, seeing that the sharper sand blade is cut, Luo Wen's mouth raised slightly. Motivated by the mind, the whole body is filled with violent thunder. A terrifying aura of destruction quietly spread out. The actual combat test of the improved physical defense has been completed. Next, that's the power of Devil Fruit. Practice for half a year. Luo Wen's development of Beamon Fruit and Thunder Fruit has also improved to a certain extent. Now is a great time to test. If Luo Wen's idea of using Crocodile to practice his hands was known to him, he would probably spit out a mouthful of old blood on the spot. Advertisement 30 million volts, Thunder Beast. Roar! It's too late to say. Just when the 4 huge sand blades approached Luo Wen only one position away, a thunderous roar suddenly sounded. The lightning that erupted from Luo Wen's body instantly turned into a fierce Thunder Beast. As soon as the Thunder Beast stepped on the sand, it roared and slammed into the 4 huge sand blades without fear. Boom! The moment when the Thunder Beast collided with the huge sand blade, a harsh thunder boom resounded. The astonishing thunder light that burst out engulfed 4 huge sand blades in a short while. With just one move, all 4 sand blades were smashed into pieces by lightning. Thunder, and lightning? Seeing the appearance of the Thunder Beast, I sensed the thunder and lightning aura contained in the Thunder Beast. The look of disdain on Crocodile's face disappeared instantly. Instead, there was an increasingly obvious shock. Demon Fruit power. He is also a Demon Fruit power. Soon, Crocodile, who had calmed down, realized that Luo Wen was also a Demon Fruit power. It's just that Luo Wen's moves alone are not enough to identify what Devil Fruit is. The other side. The people in the Baroque studio were even more restless. Their leader, the mighty Shichibukai Crocodile, was easily blocked by Luo Wen in 2 successive moves. Especially the last move Thunder Beast just now. The momentum created made everyone in the Baroque studio feel a shudder of fear. Look, I'll say it. Advertisement Captain Luo Wen, but very strong. See. As a crew member of the Luo Wen pirates, Weber proudly said to Robin. Robin agreed softly. As far as Luo Wen's strength is currently displayed, it is indeed crushing Crocodile. But wanting to defeat it is not enough. Robin is very clear. Crocodile is the ability of Logia's Sansan fruit. Logia's elementalization is enough to allow Crocodile to avoid all fatal injuries. If there are no other cards, Luo Wen can suppress Crocodile, but he cannot threaten his life. This gave people like Crocodile some time to breathe, and there was no guarantee that it would cause any trouble. Back on the field, the Thunder Beast unleashed by Luo Wen was well controlled, and the power was just enough to completely shatter the 4 huge sand blades. See, Thunder Beast and Sand Blade both dispersed. Luo Wen slowly pulled out the saber from his waist. This saber was given to Luo Wen by an old craftsman from Sky Island in order to thank Luo Wen for liberating the space. According to the introduction of the old craftsman, the quality of this knife is equivalent to that of the 50 knives of the pirate world. Compared with the ordinary knife Luo Wen used at the beginning, it is undoubtedly sharper and more powerful. Sizzle. The blade was unsheathed. Luo Wen's mind moved again. Thunder Fruit's thunderbolts turned into tiny arcs, lingering on the blade, enhancing the lethality of the blade. Try for you to pick me up. After doing this, Luo Wen looked at Crocodile and said with a smile, "Knife? Is he still a swordsman?" Seeing that Luo Wen did not use the lightning long-range attack just now, but instead drew his saber, Crocodile couldn't help but wonder. I don't know why, but an uneasy thought arises in my heart. Advertisement Chapter 26 One Knife Flow. Instant Thunder Slash. The opportunity is here. The boss is Logia's Demon Fruit power. Any physical attack caused by swords and guns is invalid. Yeah, let him be so arrogant, and he will feel better right away. Rear. Everyone in the Baroque studio was talking aloud. After a few words, Crocodile felt like he could do it. Yes, he is Logia's Demon Fruit power. No matter how sharp his knife is and how strong his slash is, what if his body is cut in half? He can be elementalized, so he doesn't need to be afraid of Luo Wen's knife. Even if it is wrapped in that powerful electric current, it is a big deal, even if the damage to his body is even more serious. After the attack, he can also be full of blood resurrected. Thought here. Crocodile has some confidence. In front of Logia Demon Fruit power, any physical attack is invalid. I have to say, your strength is indeed very strong. It's a pity that there is a chasm between us that can never be crossed. In front of my Sansan Fruit ability, all attacks are futile. Crocodile came up with confidence and said to Luo Wen with a sneer. Yes. Hearing this, Luo Wen did not refute. It's just that the curvature of the corners of the mouth is more obvious. This is easy. Next moment. Advertisement. In addition to the thunder and lightning lingering on the knife, Luo Wen's feet also lit up with dazzling lightning. With the increase of Thunder Fruit's lightning, the speed has been greatly improved. Subsequently, Luo Wen squatted down slightly, and his body was in the starting position of drawing a knife and slashing. His calm eyes locked Crocodile. That damn look? Seeing Luo Wen's calm look again, as if everything is under his control, Crocodile felt uneasy. The right hand hangs down, and the arm turns into a sand blade again. A large amount of sand is constantly flowing and sneaking into the ground. Give me death. Desert Sword, brush. For a moment, the sand blade that continued to extend from the ground spread to where Luo Wen was. A sharp-edged sand blade suddenly rose from behind Luo Wen with a swipe. At a very fast speed, it cut to Luo Wen's waist. The Desert Sword is an enhanced version of the Desert Sword in the Crocodile Sansan Fruit ability move. It sneaks from the ground according to a special route, and then attacks the target at an unexpected speed. This trick, even Admiral Akainu suffered a loss in the original book. However, what Crocodile didn't know was that Luo Wen's observation hockey had already been fully aware of the sneak attack moves he had laid out. One blade stream, instant thunder slash. Noisy, seeing that the sharp sand blade was about to touch Luo Wen's body. In an instant, Luo Wen's feet suddenly exerted force and stepped on the sand. The figure instantly burst out with the extreme speed of Thunder Fruit, turning into a galloping thunder light, rushing straight towards Crocodile. It is this explosive speed that just avoided the attack of the sand blade, making the attack of the sand blade flutter in the air. Advertisement so fast, in Crocodile's eyes, only Luo Wen's figure disappeared instantly. The lightning flashed past, at an unimaginable speed, constantly approaching his position. Crocodile is still like this, not to mention others. No one could see Luo Wen's movement clearly. The speed of Thunder Fruit is on full display at this moment. Swish! Looking at Crocodile again, realizing that the danger was approaching, he didn't have time to think about it. But Crocodile's body was only half elementalized, and Luo Wen's galloping thunder light had already arrived in front of Crocodile. The lightning-quick slash slashed precisely on Crocodile's body. Appeared, actually rushed in front of the boss in an instant. And many more. It really didn't work. I will say that the boss's Logia Devil Fruit ability is invincible. Puff! When Luo Wen's figure appeared in everyone's line of sight, the knife in his hand was completely cut off, and his body maintained the posture of swinging the knife diagonally downward. When everyone in the Baroque studio saw this, they were still laughing at Luo Wen's overreaching. Available in the next second, Crocodile's body suddenly stiffened. A look of disbelief appeared on his face. An amazing knife edge exploded from Crocodile's chest in an instant. The blood spattered from the knife edge stained the sand beneath his feet. Affected by the slashing force of this knife, Crocodile's body also flew upside down, embarrassingly fell to the ground. Quiet. The place suddenly became very quiet. Advertisement Chapter 27 Hockey. The Trembling Sand Crocodile. Everyone in the Baroque studio held their breath, opened their jaws, and looked at the incomprehensible scene in front of them. Obviously Crocodile of Logia Demon Fruit Power. It was actually cut by a knife. No wonder he's so confident. It turned out to have a means of restraining the elementalization of Logia. It seems that the battle has ended. Robin, who also had a panoramic view of this scene, was surprised to see that there was no suspense in this battle at all. Even Logia's elementalization was restrained, and Crocodile, who was already suppressed in Devil Fruit's ability, had no chance of winning. Pat. Fortunately, with a little more force, I'm afraid he will be cut in half. Look at Luo Wen again. The bloodline that was stained by the blade with a dashing flick whispered to himself. The body of the knife, I don't know when it started, was wrapped with a layer of dark metallic luster. No one noticed just before Luo Wen's knife was about to hit Crocodile's body. Luo Wen quickly released Armament Haki and wrapped around the blade. It is also the Armament Haki on the entanglement that makes this attack really damage the Crocodile that can be elementalized by Logia. It's a pity that the Armament Haki condensed in an instant is not condensed enough after all. Otherwise, it is possible to kill the careless Crocodile with one knife. Rao is like this. Luo Wen's movements from dashing to Armament Haki's entanglement to slashing with a knife, all in one go, instantly smashed Crocodile, who thought he was invincible in elementalization. Cough. Look at Crocodile again. Advertisement, there is no strong image from the beginning, with a disgraced face and bloodline all over his body. After struggling to get up from the ground, he coughed heavily and spat out a large mouthful of blood. Apparently suffered some injuries. The worst thing is that at the edge of the knife, there is still part of the power of thunder and lightning, which will turn Crocodile's flesh and blood to black and fester. Boss, are you all right? At this time, everyone in the Baroque studio, who had come to their senses, rushed forward and protected Crocodile in it. If even Crocodile can't deal with Luo Wen, they are together and can't compete. Haki, seeing this, Crocodile stood up tremblingly, endured the pain of the wound on his chest, and looked at the knife in Luo Wen's hand. As if he noticed something, he blurted out. With Crocodile's knowledge, he, who had fought against Whitebeard before, naturally knew of Haki's existence. That is the only ability that can really hurt Logia's elementalization, apart from Devil Fruit's own weakness. It's just that Crocodile never imagined that he would encounter an opponent who could skillfully use Haki in this Alabasta. Thinking of this, Crocodile was already resigned. The current situation is, Compared with Devil Fruit ability, Crocodile's San Fruit can't compare with Luo Wen's fruit power. Now, even the elementalization of Logia, which I think is the most dominant, will be restrained by Luo Wen's Haki. Moreover, Luo Wen's defense and strength, and even speed, have reached a terrifying level. Crocodile could feel that Luo Wen didn't do his best at all. If he continues to fight like this, he will only have a dead end. After thinking about it, Crocodile's eyes narrowed slightly, and he had already thought up a plan to retreat. Advertisement, you all come together. Delay him. I need some preparation time. Crocodile immediately ordered to his subordinates. Yes, with Crocodile's order, although they knew that they were not Luo Wen's opponents. But if they were just delaying to buy time, everyone felt that they could do it. Hundreds of Baroque studio members, keeping Crocodile behind. For a time, all kinds of attacks greeted Luo Wen in unison. The overwhelming Bullet's Devil Fruit ability attack kept attacking Luo Wen. Crocodile, on the other hand, took a deep breath, squatted down, stuck his right hand on the sand, and fully used the San Fruit ability. You guys don't come to join in the fun. God's punishment, see. Luo Wen raised the knife in his hand high, and the blade once again gathered a majestic lightning force in a single thought. The violent thunder and lightning were immediately released from the blade and shot straight into the sky. Immediately after, Luo Wen swung down with a knife. Boom! The thunderbolt from the sky was released, and it suddenly turned into a thunder column and fell. The attacks on both sides were not at the same level at all, only a single strike from a thunderbolt. The combined attack released by everyone in the Baroque studio was completely destroyed by the falling thunder column. Advertisement Chapter 28 I go. How can this guy be so cowardly? It's now. Get out of the way. Look at the moment when Luo Wen released his ability to destroy the attack of the Baroque studio. Crocodile yelled. The San Fruit ability, which had been accumulating for a long time, exploded in an instant without reservation. Eros Samsara. Boom. Kaka. For a split second, start where Crocodile is. The entire land sank at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the subsidence spread all the way to where Luo Wen was. Anything caught in the subsidence quicksand will be instantly drained of water. This is the most powerful ultimate move that Crocodile can perform. It's not over yet. Heavy Shalon. Whoosh. This is not over yet. After releasing the erosive reincarnation ultimate move, trying to trap Luo Wen in the quicksand, Crocodile yanked his right hand out of the sand and pushed with the palm of his hand. An enhanced version of Shalon was used immediately. A terrifying sandstorm suddenly erupted and swept towards Luo Wen, forcing Luo Wen to move. On the ground is the subsidence of erosion and reincarnation, and in the air is the huge sandstorm caused by Shalon. Crocodile's move can be said to block Luo Wen's actions. That's a decent attack. Come on, Sand Crocodile, please me. Wrong. This guy. Actually running away? Seeing two more powerful moves coming, Luo Wen wanted to compliment Crocodile, just now, and finally looked a bit like Shichibukai. Advertisement take a closer look. Among the Baroque studio crowd, Crocodile, who just released his two-stroke ultimate move. It turned the body into elements, turned it into countless sands, and escaped into the sand. That look obviously wants to take the opportunity to escape. I'm going. How can this guy be so cowardly? It ran away. Luo Wen couldn't help but complain. As everyone knows, Crocodile was aware of the difference in strength between him and Luo Wen and decided to run away. Even his subordinates were sold. Boom! Seeing that Crocodile's body was fully elementalized and quickly dived into the bottom of the sand. Luo Wen stomped on the sand under his feet, and his body leaped into the air. Escape? I want to see where you're going. Beamon form. In a blink of an eye, Luo Wen, who jumped into the air, quickly put away his saber. Motivated by the idea, the Beamon fruit ability was used, and the figure quickly expanded and became larger. Working a while, a huge and ferocious beast with silver and white hair appeared in midair. Then, what is that? Monster! No, he is Zoan's demon fruit power. It's just what Zoan's size. Too big. The sudden appearance of the Beamon beast filled everyone in the Baroque studio with fear. The members of the cadre soon realized that Luo Wen's devil fruit was Zoan's. Advertisement, it's just that I've never seen Zoan's changes. Such a huge exaggeration. Zizizi, just when everyone panicked, Luo Wen, who transformed into Beamon, raised his huge right foot. The entire beast's foot was instantly filled with dazzling thunder. At the same time, the lightning power of Thunder Fruit is also used together. Thunder Trample. Boom! The next moment, the right foot of the Beamon ferocious beast, entwined with endless thunder and lightning, slammed down from top to bottom, and the deafening sound of earthquake and thunder suddenly resounded through the sky. Boom! The huge animal feet slammed down. Thunder explosion, earthquake sound, both sounded. With a deafening explosion, the sandstorm released by Crocodile was dissipated by this terrifying force. It came to the fall of the sand, and because of this, it was completely dented and sunk by a thick layer. Crazy sand exploded in the sky. The impact that spread out overturned the formation of everyone in the Baroque studio. For a while, people turned on their backs, unable to even stand stably. Zizizi. At the same time, the violent thunder and lightning wrapped around the beast's feet were poured out and turned into huge thunder and lightning. Under Luo Wen's perception and control, they quickly approached the crocodile underground. Bang, bang, bang. Where the violent thunder and lightning passed all the way, an astonishing explosion occurred in the sand again. In the end, a bolt of lightning struck Crocodile's body underground. Boom! A thunder light suddenly broke through the ground and rose into the sky. Affected by the power of this blow, Crocodile bleeds from his 7 orifices on the spot, and most of his body was scorched black and his flesh was blurred. Advertisement Chapter 29, I can't stand it when you attack me with booger. Don't get out yet. Seeing that Crocodile continued to hide under the ground after taking a blow, Luo Wen's eyes flashed a murderous intent. Just about to launch another attack. Do not stop. Buy more time for the boss. Who knows? The Baroque studio cadres who rushed to the front of the crowd, especially Mr. Five, who was most loyal to Crocodile's explosive fruit ability. It was actually indifferent to directing the crowd to continue to attack. Mr. Five, on the other hand, was very disgusting to pull out pieces of booger, which through the ability of exploding fruit, turned into small bombs, which bounced towards the eyes of the Beamon beast. This scene was naturally perceived by observation hockey of Luo Wen's Beamon form. The serious attack Luo Wen didn't even pay attention to, because it can't hurt him at all. But this Mr. Five is an attack launched by picking booger. This is a special kind of mental attack. Bang, bang, bang. Luo Wen, who didn't want to be disgusted by this kind of attack, had to cover armament hockey with a huge animal paw, blocking him. A series of booger explosions exploded from the palm of the beast, instantly filled with black smoke from the explosion. Call. Immediately afterwards, Luo Wen waved the animal's palm and slapped the black smoke away. This level of explosion, even a human-like body can resist it, let alone Luo Wen in Beamon's form. The beast's paw was obviously not injured at all. You can wait for Luo Wen to block the booger explosion attack, and then use the sense color to sense the crocodile breath underground. Crocodile had already taken the opportunity to flee away. It's all this rubbish. The Sansan fruit I got is flying again, see? Advertisement Luo Wen transformed into a fierce beast of Beamon, and anger flashed in the eyes of the beast. He stared fiercely at Mr. Five, who was still preparing to attack in front of him. Roar! Boom! An angry growl. The Beamon ferocious beast clenched his right fist and slammed it down at the dam, Mr. Five. The powerful force directly slammed Mr. Five into the soil. His head was bleeding, and the whole person was only sighed, as if seriously wounded and dying. Seeing this scene, everyone in the Baroque studio dared to make a move, and they all froze in place. Crocodile had fled. Luo Wen took a deep breath to suppress the anger in his heart. The body lit up with a faint light, and the Beamon form was released. After a while, back to the original human form. Open your eyes, well, look at the crocodile you desperately protect. Abandoned you a long time ago and fled. Luo Wen said loudly to everyone in the Baroque studio. The words startled everyone, especially when everyone found out that Crocodile didn't sneak into the ground to accumulate power, but actually escaped. There was a look of confusion and despair on their faces. Crocodile, this is selling them all. The rest give you two choices. Surrender and submit to me. Still continue to persevere and want to die. Advertisement Luo Wen's angry shout resounded again. Bang, bang, bang. Hearing this, everyone in the Baroque studio had completely lost their will to fight, and they dropped their weapons and surrendered to Luo Wen. Surrender. We surrender. At this point, the battle between the two sides is completely over. Only the huge fistprint sand pits left on the ground prove the amazing battle just experienced. At this time, Robin, who had been watching the battle from behind, recovered from his shock. It can be seen that Luo Wen intends to accommodate everyone in the Baroque studio. Hastily step forward. Captain Luo Wen, let me talk to them. Come to Luo Wen and signal to Luo Wen. At the end of the battle, Robin's name for Luo Wen also changed to the captain's name. Obviously, after Luo Wen successfully defeated Crocodile, he completely laid his mind on joining. It's just a pity that Crocodile finally escaped. Luo Wen was still angry, but he didn't have a good face. He nodded in agreement with everyone in the Baroque studio. Everyone. Crocodile can even abandon his companions decisively. You follow him. Even if it's okay this time, I'm not sure if he will abandon you again next time. Captain Luo Wen is different. He will sincerely treat every crew member who joins. Robin began to persuade. Hearing Robin's words, everyone in the Baroque studio lowered their heads. No one dared to promise to be Luo Wen's subordinate at this time. Crocodile's abandonment of them was a huge blow. It's up to me. The people who saw the Baroque studio did not respond. Advertisement Chapter 30 Conquering the Baroque Studio. If you want to accept the normal operation of the Baroque studio, you must have the existence of this group of people. Luo Wen calmed down for a while and motioned Robin to move away. You all follow Crocodile and fight for your life. What did you get? Ask yourself, Crocodile, what's there for you? Luo Wen spoke to the crowd. Hearing Luo Wen's words, the expressions of everyone in the Baroque studio became even more ugly. As Luo Wen said, Crocodile's selfishness and the treasures he has harvested are mostly in his own hands. There are only a small number of cadres and lower-level members left to them. Being able to eat is a problem, not to mention enjoyment. The reason why everyone is still following Crocodile is because of Crocodile's ferocity. They dare not quit easily. Second, it is Crocodile's protection for them. After all, the Grand Line is in many dangers. Under Shichibukai's command, there is still a certain sense of security. It's a pity that now this sense of security is gone, and when they are in danger, Crocodile instantly abandons them. Now Crocodile has fled with serious injuries. You don't need to work for him anymore. Be my subordinate. I promise you. What you have will definitely be much more than what you have now. What Luo Wen continued to say undoubtedly aroused the hearts of many people. In terms of strength, what Luo Wen showed was completely crushing Crocodile. Don't worry about Crocodile's revenge in the future. Second, advertisement Luo Wen's promise to give them more rewards is not empty talk in the eyes of everyone in the Baroque studio. Just the mantra of the gold-made ark that Luo Wen appeared on board. The cost is absolutely astronomical. Even if the ship is made of gold, will it still be short of money? The answer is negative. Luo Wen is strong and has inestimable assets, and even promised to give them more and better treatment. There seems to be no reason to refuse. Will you really give us better treatment as you promised? At this time, the representative cadre, Mr. Tu Bentham, asked Luo Wen again for sure. Luo Wen nodded solemnly. If you became my subordinate, you didn't get what I promised. You can leave at any time. I won't stop you. Of course, how much you get will depend on your contribution. It's definitely much better than it is now. Weber, bring a box of gold from the ship. In order to prevent the Baroque people from not believing in themselves, Luo Wen directly told Weber. Weber nodded and took out a large box of gold from the cabin. Luo Wen opened the box directly. Suddenly, the golden light blinded everyone's eyes. Have you seen it? I still have a lot of gold on board. As long as you work hard, it's not a problem with your treatment. In this case, I would like to join. After receiving an affirmative answer from Luo Wen, Bentham was the first to express his willingness to join. Isn't such a handsome and rich boss much more reliable than sand crocodile. Advertisement, I would too. And I. As a result, the rest of the Baroque Studio members all expressed their approval. Very good. Luo Feng nodded with satisfaction. In addition, since there are relatively few official crew members on my ship, I plan to select a few cadres from among you to become my official crew members. The ones I chose are Nico, Robin, Bentham, Mr. 3, and Makita. The rest keep their original positions and continue to operate and manage the Baroque Studio as normal. The names came out of Luo Wen's mouth. The core crew members selected were also pre-planned by Luo Wen. Needless to say, Robin has become a double demon fruit power. Then there's Bentham from Clone Fruit, Mr. 3 from Wax Fruit, and Maiketa from Light Lion Fruit. These people are relatively good in Luo Wen's impression, and their devil fruit ability will also be of great use in the future pairing of two fruits. Yes, Captain. Hearing Luo Wen calling their names, Robin and the others stood up one after another with happy smiles on their faces. On the other hand, it is a pity for the cadres who were not selected. After all, this is the core crew, and there will be a lot more opportunities for treatment and growth in the future. The others won't be discouraged. Assist me in the operation of the Baroque Studio. I will not treat you badly. Hearing the sighs of other cadres, Luo Wen assured with a smile. Advertisement Chapter 31, 3 new crew members clear. After hearing this, the other cadres cheered up a little and agreed. The second is the transformation of the Baroque Studio. I want Baroque Studio to be the eyes and ears of our pirate group, transformed into an intelligence organization dispersed throughout the Grand Line, providing us with important intelligence. Luo Wen continued. Baroque Studio, there are more than the few people I see now. In addition to the cadres and others with the highest combat power, there are also about 200 billionaires and 1,800 millionaires. 2,000 bottom members are enough to initially form an intelligence network. The proliferation of the intelligence network started from Alabasta and continued to infiltrate the Grand Line. Captain, it's good that the Baroque Studio can be transformed into an intelligence organization. Just want to build a large enough intelligence network. It needs a sufficient number of people, as well as huge financial support. At this time, Robin spoke to Luo Wen. Robin, who has been in the underground world and is very familiar with intelligence organizations, has the most say. A form intelligence network, only 2,000 people, is definitely not enough. Of course, in terms of number of people, they can still expand their recruitment, and the lower-level intelligence officers and ordinary people can serve. The problem is funding. After all, the members at the bottom can't be reached all the time, and they also need daily living expenses, which is definitely a huge amount of money. Don't look at the development of the Baroque Studio to the current scale. The funds it actually has are not as much as imagined. You can rest assured about this. Little Jean, Luo Wen suddenly shouted. Advertisement beep. With Luo Wen's order, the golden eagle Xiaojin flew in from outside, on the mouth and the carved claws on the feet. Each is holding a huge box. The box opens when it is placed on the ground. What's inside is the gold from Sky Island Chandora. Not Bailey made into currency, but more valuable pure gold. 3 boxes of gold are completely enough for the early development of the Baroque Studio. Seeing this, everyone realized that Luo Wen was definitely planning it for a long time. Even the startup capital has been counted. They are also more confident to follow such a captain. Just do as I tell you to. The matter of contacting the lower-level members will be left to you. For details, let's make arrangements in the rain. Seeing that everyone agreed, Luo Wen nodded in satisfaction. Then, suddenly remembered something. Luo Wen took 3 steps and 2 steps to the front of the dying Mr. 5. Robin, you take the others back to the rain to stand by. Bentham, Makita, Mr. 3, you 3 stay. Luo Wen gave Robin another command. Clear. Knowing what Luo Wen was going to do next, Robin agreed, and took everyone from the Baroque Studio into the rain to wait for orders. After a long time, Robin just returned. Advertisement, only Luo Wen, Weber, and Robin remained. And Bentham, Makita, Mr. 3 people. Luo Wen left them alone because he wanted to completely conquer the hearts of the 3. Forbidden Black Coffin, looking indifferently at Mr. 5, who was hanging with only 1 breath left. Luo Wen would not feel any pity for this kind of existence loyal to Crocodile. I drank softly in my heart. A huge black coffin appeared in front of several people. Immediately after, Luo Wen carried Mr. Five into the black coffin and took out a prepared fruit from his arms. It was expected in advance that there would be no less devil fruit to be recycled this time, and Luo Wen also prepared enough fruits. Beep! As Mr. Five and the fruit were put into the forbidden black coffin, a deep and mysterious black light suddenly lit up. After a while, Mr. Five's last strength was exhausted, and he died on the spot. A brand new explosive fruit appeared in the black coffin of the forbidden magic. After doing this, Luo Wen summoned the forbidden magic black coffin and disappeared, and took the brand new explosive fruit in his hand. Recycled devil fruit. This scene instantly made all three of Bentham's jaws drop in shock. Completely unseen, unheard of abilities. Several people have never heard that devil fruit can be recycled like this. It's just one of my abilities. As you can see, I have the ability to recover devil fruit. What Luo Wen wanted was the surprise of several people. He immediately said bluntly, "Not only that, but I was able to remove the negative effects of devil fruit for the crew I picked." Advertisement Chapter 32 Candidates for exploding fruit, simply put, let you have the physique of double devil fruit. Luo Wen's next words, like a blockbuster, exploded in the hearts of the three of them. This completely subverted their cognition. As we all know, after eating a devil fruit, the body will receive the curse of the devil, become unable to swim, and have the weakness of seawater. And once the second devil fruit is eaten, the power of this curse will conflict with each other in the body, and the body cannot endure it in the end. Ended up with an explosive death. Luo Wen now says that he can make people have the physique of double devil fruit, which is too incredible. Seeing that several people were full of doubts, Luo Wen looked at Robin and gestured. "That's right. Captain Luo Wen can give you the physique to eat the second devil fruit. Of course, first of all, you have to really join in. And I am under the ability of Captain Luo Wen. Become a double demon fruit power. Say it." Robin grabbed the air with both hands. On the sand, arms instantly grew. Ka ka ka. After that, Robin used the ability of Dice fruit, and the surface of his arm raised from the ground suddenly turned into a sharp blade. It's Mr. One's Dice fruit ability. It is true. She's telling the truth. Advertisement Captain, it really can give people the ability of devil fruit. For a time, I saw Robin's flower fruit and Dice fruit abilities used. The three of Bentham couldn't help but scream. Who would have thought that Luo Wen really had such an incredible ability, which could give people the ability to have double devil fruit? This is simply heaven to find.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.